Today, we're going to bust open these slabs and send them along with these cards to get graded to test out Mint Authentication. Welcome back to Jazamby on another wonderful night here in Wisconsin. As you saw in the intro, today we're going to be testing out Mint Authentication right there. I am really excited for this because I am not a huge grader. I have graded some cards, as you guys have seen, but I'm not a big grader. But I have always been looking for something that I could just send my own personal collection to. And I think this is going to be absolutely perfect for that. Unless eventually they grow much bigger and take over the right now cornered market, basically by PSA. And which we all hope that's the case. That some of these smaller companies can actually come up and get some legitimacy and have grades so that PSA, Beckett, and everyone else, SGC, CGC, aren't the only ones that people look for in value. But as of right now, seeing as it's a smaller company, they're definitely going to be something worth testing, which is why I am doing this video today and why I'm leaning back, kind of relaxing, because I just want to be as honest as possible with how I feel about grading and how I want to test this out. Because if I'm grading my own collection, obviously most cards, you want to try and get a 10, but some cards you're okay with a 9. And I wouldn't be grading everything, but I would want to grade certain ones, especially if I want to display them. See, I like displaying cards. If you look around, if you can see all the way around me, there's cards everywhere. And I'm a Green Bay Packers fan. So that PSA label, it's ugly to me. Now, there's certain cards maybe I'd grade with them just because they're holding value now. But the truth is, most of my collection, I'm never going to sell. They'll get passed down to anyone along the way in my family. And so I want something that looks nice when it's being displayed with everything else. So I'm going with something that's more black and white. And these slabs actually look really, really good. So I'm super excited to actually get into this and give you my thoughts. So here we go. We are going to be sending in a nice stack of cards right here. I'll roll through these quick in a minute with you. I have looked over these very brightly. I brought this light down here and I was looking at them. And I made sure that I wrote grader's notes of my own down in a whole separate piece of paper over there. Just to give an idea of what I think they might get from a guy that's not super experienced, but is trying to look. And then also we're going to be busting open all of these slabs right here. And I will explain exactly why I chose each one of these slabs to do. Because I think there's a good purpose for each one of them so that we can test. Now, I will say, shout out to Craig over at Helmets and Hashmarks. I know he's a big part of this company, and so I figured I should put that out right away that I am acquaintances, friends with him on YouTube, and so I don't know if that changes anything, but I don't think it is. I think because I am snapping open some slabs, he's probably expecting to probably grade these a little hard. I have no idea. Maybe he is, maybe he is. I have no idea, but we will find out. We are going to mix these all in with these and try and see what he ends up grading and what changes it all. So what I can say so far about Mint Authentication is I've watched multiple people open up these their submissions once they get them back, and it was almost like a breath of fresh air because everyone that's getting their grades back, they agree with the grade they're getting. Whether it was a 10, a 9, a 8, 7, whatever, they're agreeing with it. Which is so nice because anytime you see people open up PSA or Beckett or whatever, they're getting mad and stuff's wild. You see them send the same card 10 times and get 10 different grades. I don't think that that's going to happen with this company, which is what I like a lot so far. Everyone seems to agree. They go, okay, this one was perfect, but it had a surface thing, so maybe that's why it's a 9. Or whatever. And they come back and everyone's happy with the grades they got. And that is a big statement to say because most grading companies aren't going to do that. But also, I have seen them grade pretty hard on some that looked perfect. So I don't think that they're going to be like some people say that like SGC grades lightly, you know, loosely in comparison to like PSA or Beckett. But I don't think that this is going to be the case. I think they're going to grade harder than SGC, but maybe they won't go as hardcore as Beckett. But then again, they do have that diamond. You can get that diamond label where it's only 2 points off out of 400 to where you can get that diamond label. I think that is actually going to hold some value, and that's just my future prediction. I'm sorry if this is rattling on and on and on, but I wanted to be as honest as I possibly could about this company. So I have gotten some of these slabs already. He sent some in, and I can have one. Here's an example right here. You can see this sweet Reggie White card. This is a 10, but what's really cool about this is he puts these subgrades on the bottom. I know it probably won't focus. There it goes. It's focusing. But you can see the subgrades there, which I think is why everyone agrees with what they got. I can see here, this is a 10, but it's 96, 95, 98, and 100. And when you add that up, you're going to get a 10. It's just close, too, because what happens is if you go on the website, which if you want to look, you can go and see the website, mintauthentication.com. It clearly describes how they do their grading. It starts at 400 points, 100 for each category, corners, edges, center, and surface. And with each defect, they're going to reduce some points. And you have about 15 points. You have 15 points until it's not a 10 anymore. So that is a really low percentage. So it's hard to get a 10. This card has to be pretty close to perfect. And then, of course, if you get within 2 points, you're going to get that diamond label. And so I like it. I like it naturally. I don't have to think about it. I like how they grade. I think it's nice. Also, the slabs are nice. They feel good. They do lock together. And they all come with a team bag wrapped around them. I wish every company did that. It is so nice. And then not only that, but it's simple and black and white, like your CGC, SGC. It looks clean. It's going to go with any display that you have. There is a tiny little logo that is mint green in the middle, but it's not enough to throw off what your collection looks like. Now, I do have like a Patrick Mahomes PSA. It matches. That works for me. But other than that, I'm not a big fan of it. If you're a Pokemon fan, I'm sure the PSA looks fine to you as well. But it will also look really great in this slab right here. But overall, from what I've seen, everybody really likes the slabs as well and how they look. And more importantly, how they grade. That is super, super important. And everyone else seems to agree as well. The grades seem to be nice. So we are going to test them out today. Is that a long enough intro for you? We're going to test them out pretty thoroughly because I'll page through these real quickly. And these are going to go from 10s to 8s to 9s. Let's go ahead and switch the camera real quick. And up there. There we go. These are going to be going from highest grades to lowest grades. We have, and I'm not even going to call them all out, but we have some nice cards here that I have taken my time to look over, and I think these are going to be the highest grades. We'll explain them more once we get the cards back as to why I think they got this. But a lot of these cards, they're either nearly perfect or they're perfect and have like one defect. So maybe they're absolutely perfect, but they're slightly off center. Or maybe they're absolutely perfect and they have like some print lines. You know, let's see how hard he grades print lines. Maybe they're super perfect, but they have wonky corner, or maybe they have like a little scratch in the front or something like that. We're gonna see exactly how he grades based on everything, because I'm curious, how many points do you take off for, a dimple? There's some that are perfect, but they just have a dimple. You know what I'm saying? So how do you grade a dimple? How do you grade a scratch? What about a bigger scratch? And so I have selected all of these, which you will see later in grader's notes once we get them back, how exactly that he grades. And I think, from what I'm seeing, it seems pretty fair, but we're going to put that to the test. I'm sorry, Craig, but we're putting you to the test, man. And I'm very, very excited. And as we start getting into things that I think might be 9s because they maybe have a little bit more, issues with them, but all some nice cards. All going to be some nice Packers and also some Pokemon. We do have some other teams in here as well. There's a Mahomes right there, speaking of. And I don't even remember what was wrong with these. I'd have to look at my notes. But there might have been like this. I think there's like one small scratch on the front. he might be a little harder grading because it's on the front on that one. This one I think is absolutely immaculate, this Tucker Craft, except it's just barely off center. So I'm curious, am I going to get a 9 on that? I'm not really sure, but we have a lot of nice cards here, even some from my wife's collection. We got some, I think there's Josh Jacobs in there too, and some Mannings, and then a couple that are lower grades. I think all 3 of these are going to get lower grades based on my calculations. Like, they're nice, but there's like maybe 2 or 3 things that are wrong with them. They might get like 8s or 7s. I don't know, but we'll look at those with the graders notes a little bit later. But I did meticulously pick out certain cards to see how they grade. Also, I asked if I could send in one of my custom 1-of-1 cards that I made just for an auto certification. Obviously, it is mine. I signed it. Also, I'm willing to send video proof and evidence of me making and signing it. But I wanted to get this one slabbed with an auto certification. And then we have these slabs that we are going to be breaking open, and I have selected 2 SGC or CGCs and 3 PSAs, and then there is one more. Where did you go? Where we have one more to break open, which I will have to. Oh, that's right. I had to put this up in the live stream last night so that just in case he was watching, he didn't think this is one. We are totally hiding this from him as much as we possibly can. But sorry, Craig, we're adding one more card. We're going to be sending your own graded Matthew Golden 10 in along with it as well. Now, I will explain why this is a 10, but remember, the subgrades. We'll let that focus real quick. The subgrades. There we go. You see how it's 99, 99, 98, and 100? We're going to find out how accurate the subgrades are. Are they going to be within like 1 or 2 points? Because that's pretty hard out of 400. If it's within 1 or 2 points, I think I'm okay with that. But if it's within 5 or 10 points, you're drastically switching the grade. So we're going to really put you to the test, buddy, to see, is this going to be an exact one? Also, is he going to remember that he sent this to me months ago when I know he's probably sent out thousands of them now? I don't know if he'll remember that. He might think that I'm a Packers fan. Hey, he might just want another Matthew Golden done. But we're going to find out how exact is his grading. We're going to find out. Look at it right there. 99, 99, 98, 100. And we are going to also find out how hard it is to snap open that one. Also, we have this CGC. Now, I do have an SGC, but it's the only slab I have, and I'm not breaking open Jaden Reed over there. I'm sorry. I'm not doing it. I do not own a Beckett slab, so I can't do that. But we're going to do the CGC Pokemon Oddish. It's a Japanese. We're going to find out if he does Japanese. But this is a 7.5 right here. I imagine, I don't know a lot about Pokemon, but there's probably some surface issues. I'm sure there's some whitening and some scratches and things like that on here. But we're going to find out if he also agrees. Also, the centering is like way off. And so I imagine this will probably be pretty similar in that 7 or 8 range, or maybe even lower. Where we're going to find out how aggressive he is on Pokemon cards. And that is like a totally base Pokemon card too. Another reason why I chose it. There's no holo on it. There's no nothing. It's not super rare. It's something that's like, hey, let's just grade this thing. And so I liked that about that. Also, from SGC or CGC, sorry, we're going to be taking this Jordan Love 9.5. I'm sorry. I forgot who sent this to me. But I am sorry that I'm doing this, but it needs to happen for science. Okay. You might be mad, but we got to do it. This CGC is graded a 9.5. This, in my opinion, should not be a 9.5 because they're on the front, it is off center. Not a lot, but it is slightly off center. It's a little bit more heavy on this side. Not only that, but you can clearly see through the slab one, 2, and a third really wonky corner. We have 1, 2 wonky corners and a third clearly white wonky corner. I mean, unless it's perfect, other than that, there's no reason this should be a 9.5. I would say that someone jumped for joy when they got a 9.5 on this thing. This should be like a 7 or 8 or something like that, I think. I don't think it deserves a 9.5, and we're going to test out Mint Authentication because I think they're going to agree with me. This was too high of a grade. Now, is it messed up that I would do this to my own beloved Jordan Love? Yes, it is. But we're doing it for science. And we're going to keep on rolling along. I sent in this Jaden Reed to PSA not too long ago. We got an 8 on that. I don't know if that's a good grade or not, but I'll be honest with you, I just want it in one of his slabs. I think it's going to look better in my collection standing up. And we're just going to find out. You know, I didn't look over this too deeply when I sent it. I just liked the card. So maybe I can kind of see a weird corner. I don't know. Maybe there's a few things. An 8 might be correct. I'm not sure. They might have given me a correct grade on this one. But we're going to find out what Mint Authentication thinks. Are they going to say it's an 8, a 7, a 9? Who knows? Are they going to grade loosely? Are they going to grade heavier on something like this? I don't know, but I want this in one of his slabs because I think it's going to look better displayed on my table back there. So we'll find out about that a little later. Also, what everybody wants to know, are they loose on grading? Because we have a CJ Stroud PSA 9 right there. That is a base Prism card. No silver, no nothing. Just straight up 9, guys. We're going to find out, is he going to give this a 10? Or is he going to agree and give it a 9? We're going to find out, is he loose? Or is he as strenuous as PSA is? Can we give this guy some value? Or is he going to say, hey, it's a 10, and we're going to find out that he's a little bit looser, which is fine. That's fine, too. Especially if I have a bunch of stuff of my own collection. But the truth is, we're going to find out, does he agree with PSA on this 9 right here? Now, we all know that human grading like PSA and Mint Authentication, it can change. It can be off. You know, it all depends. When you're sitting grading thousands of cards a day, it can be tough. And so it's hard to grade, you know, a whole bunch of these base cards. And so who knows what's going to happen? This could have been an 8 or a 10. But who knows? We're going to find out. Is he going to give it a 9? Is he going to give it a 10 or not? But this CJ Stroud, we're going to find out on that one. And then one more Pokemon from PSA as well. Some might be mad at me if you like Pokemon. But this is a super sweet Pikachu EX right here with the like crazy diamond thing going on. I don't even know what it's actually called. But it is fairly rare. It's a nice card. But this also was given a PSA 9 right there. You can see that nice PSA 9. So it's a little bit more valuable, but not quite as much as a 10. But we're going to find out. I can tell looking at this, the centering is just barely off. But other than that, it looks clean. You know, maybe there's like one whitening dot up there. I don't know. Is that enough for a 9? But what about at Mint Authentic? Is this something that they would call a 10, but not a diamond? Or is this something they would also call a 9? We're going to find out all together, guys, and I'm really, really excited. And so right now, I'm going to go ahead and cut this video, and then we're going to get into breaking slabs. But before I do that, I do just want to show you guys real quick the card Mint Authentication. Right there, grading made simple. You can say they do Topps, Panini, baseball, football, basketball, NHL. I'm sure they do wrestling and things like that too. Pokemon, One Piece, Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh! They got all of that. This is an old ticket, so the Mint 10 won't work for 10% off, but it is June right now, and they're doing buy one, get one. And here's the thing. If they're doing like 100 cards for like $10 or something, it's $5 a card, guys. $5 a card. I mean, don't wait. If you're doing your own collection, this is 100% the time to go with a company like this, especially based on what I've seen from the other submissions come back. I think it is fantastic so far. I like what he's doing. No membership fees. None of that. No upcharges, guys. No upcharges. You're not going to get your 10s back and get charged $500 more. All right, it's not going to happen. Why pay more? I agree. There is the QR code. We'll let that focus. You guys can scan that, but that's going to take you to mintauthentication.com. You can look through that website and see examples. Big high-end cards are going through here, man. It's not just little stuff. Big stuff going through here, too. And you can look through, they explain exactly how they grade, what they don't accept. Of course, they're not going to accept any altered cards or, you know, polished cards, cut cards, you know, and trimmed cards, anything like that. They're not going to take that. as much as they possibly can try. Maybe we'll test that out on another day. Probably not. I don't want to trim anything. But yeah, this is already bad enough. I already feel bad busting open slabs. So let's go ahead and get started on this. I'm going to cut you off. You'll see a little bit of editing, and we'll be back to busting open these slabs. Alright guys, so here we are. We're about to bust open some slabs. I have not busted open a slab ever in my life, and I wouldn't condone this at all, except for science. Alright, we're doing this for science. I looked up a bunch of videos how to do this. Apparently some of the slabs are gummier, especially the new PSA ones, something like that. But we're going to find out. I've seen the bottle opener method, so we're going to use a nice Jameson bottle opener. I do not have the snub nose pliers that everyone's using, but I do have these crazy wire cutters. Those might do something. And then also we have these right here, these other pliers. So we're going to do our best with these three tools to open up these slabs. Starting with the Pikachu right here. This is that PSA 9 right there. And of course with PSA, you can't look. You can scan it on the back, but you can't look to see why they graded it that. I think it's slightly off-centered. Maybe there's one whitening dot. Maybe that's it. I don't know. But is that enough to get a 10 with mint? I would love to see this in a 10. But who knows? Maybe it won't. Maybe it'll come back a 9 as well. I have no idea. But I will be keeping this forever regardless, as it was a gift. So here we go. Let's get into it. My first ever slab being broken open. We're going to try the bottle opener method. Now you can see how it's pressed in to this other piece here. So I'm going to start with these top corners because I don't want to mess up the corner here. I'm going to have to go around this camera and hold it. This is the best that I can do. We got Bean joining me behind here as well. I don't know if you can see her. She decided to join here. So here we go. We're just going to try and snap this corner. Here we go. That snapped? All right, we're good. We're good. Man, that's so scary. It went along the card. But I think we're good. We're good. We're good. We're going to try and do that again on this side. Snapped it completely off. And I think we're good. We didn't hit the card at all. Well, we can pull up the grade, so that's cool. Yeah, that was not the best job, I would say. That is not the greatest job ever. Maybe that, and again, breaking open a slab, you can certainly affect the grade and damage the card as stuff goes flying. But what I'm going to do is lay this down flat, and I'm just going to lift this up. Maybe I should try to snatch the card right out of there. Well, there's two pieces. If I can go like this, I can pull that card out. Alright, that's out. My first one ever, not too bad. I don't think we actually damaged anything. It was pretty good. That was a rough looking slab right there. We will set that aside. Let's try and move some of this stuff out of the way here. We are going to use this PSA thing to lift this. And we're going to blow this off. Just in case there is any little dust laying there. And then we're going to take a little sleeve right there. We are going to blow this off as well. Just in case any plastic dust got on there. Now, if you can see the card, we'll see if we can let it focus in here. It's not the best lighting, but it'll do. I can see clearly. I can move it around. I don't know if you can see that or not. We did not scratch the card at all. There's no scratches on the front. There is no damage to any of the corners. We have these fresh corners up here. Yeah, they look nice. Nothing got damaged on the way out, but you can see it is just barely off-centered. As far as the back, looks exactly the way it did before. I think there's like maybe one white dot down there. I don't know if you can see that or not. One tiny white dot. Maybe a dot up top and maybe a dot there. Just barely. But other than that, the surface looks really clean. And the surface looks really clean on this side as well. So that is our Pikachu. We are going to use this, slide it into a nice brand new sleeve here. Now he may notice that we only used brand new sleeves for the graded cards. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take a sleeve, take this Matthew Golden out, just to throw it off. Now, will he be able to tell that they're brand new or not? I don't know, but he might be able to tell that they're all the same brand, you know? So let's pull that out. We're going to put that in what Matthew Golden's sleeve was. We got to be able to throw them off as much as possible. That one's got like a little dent on the sleeve. And we're going to go ahead and throw Matthew Golden in this one there. There we go. I'm going to do that. I mean, I'm sure you guys can still see, but there we go. Slide him down. All right, we're going to put him in there. All right, we got Pikachu in a nice sleeve here. And they looked clean, man. There's no fingerprints or anything, so we're going to just go ahead, plop Pikachu into a card saver. This is tough to do reaching around a camera. There we go. All right, so there is our Pikachu there. And, of course, we have our original grade right there as a 9. There it is. So let's go ahead and set that down to the side. We'll keep these in their own separate sack. Now, getting into the CJ Stroud. Hopefully this one will break a little bit better. That team bag did not open very well. But here we go. A nice CJ Stroud rookie PSA 9. Oh, man. Here we go. And I'm doing these top corners because I don't trust myself on these bottom ones. So here we go. CJ Stroud. Let's see if we can just barely crack this. All right, that is definitely different. I will say, immediately I notice a difference. This might be one of the newer ones where they're a lot more gummy, because that took a lot to flex it. And it snapped the top, but it didn't totally open this up. So I guess we're going to try this other corner here. Oh, man. Just the corner. Okay, that was better. Push it flat down. Yeah, that was a nice clean break right there. All right, and so from here, I should probably be wearing eye goggles. I should be wearing gloves. All right, so we were able to peel that up. So let's see if we can... Definitely clean. Definitely didn't get anywhere close to the card. Let's see if we can just lift this. That is going to be tough. Oh, man. Let's see if maybe we can get this edge in here. Oh, I don't think that edge even broke. Yeah, these are going to be a lot tougher. These new ones are tough. Let's just turn this. See if we can't snap that up. Oh, man. Yeah, these are tough, boys. These are tough. I don't want to hit the card itself. But let's just turn that. Oh. Definitely wants to bend the card. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to crack these corners either. I'm real nervous about that. I can almost grab the card. Well, we can get that out of there at least. Let's see if maybe we can just squeeze this edge right here. Just cut it a little bit. just to try and pry and pull this up. And I can just kind of bend this back edge. Oh man, I'm so nervous. I'm bending it. I can almost get the card, guys. I can almost get the card. It's right there. We're going to go a little bit closer. Right there by the corner. All right, that snapped it. See if we can't lift it up a little bit. Because of that. A little. We can almost get the card out of there, fellas. Man, is that close. Don't worry, with the magic of editing, we're going to be able to show this to you. Let's go like this. It's not affecting the card. But it is breaking it and allowing me to lift up. All right, we like that. We like that. We're going in a good direction here. We're going to go along the edge of this. And we are not hitting the card, not even close. We can tell that we're not actually hitting the card. I might be able to grab it. Nope. Nope. I will say, man, these new PSA slabs, these are tough. That is in there, boys. We're just going to keep working our way down that edge there. All right. And be able to grab this card. But the pressure on it is so tight. I just don't want to do the bottle opener thing on the bottom corners. After seeing what it did on the top corners, I don't think it worked very well. Yeah, I can't grab it. Maybe we relieve some pressure at the rear here. Very good when it comes to that. Just relieve a little bit of pressure down there. Pulling off chunks. All right, let's see. Got it. Got it. There it is. Holy crap. Just going to try and blow that away. We're going to set her down on a nice clean pad here. Oh my God. And there goes my PSA tag right there. Oh my God. That one was tough. I will say these new PSA slabs are a lot more rough. There it is. CJ Stroud 9. Oh my God. Now, did we hit the edges? Let's inspect this thing. I just want to blow it off a little bit closer. Now, honestly, I think we did. I don't know if you guys can see this light here. Right there. Right there. I think we actually messed up the edge on that. And so I do not think that this will also get a 9 with his grade. So we may have just messed that one up, but that is A-okay. We have to learn some way and somehow. But that right there, we definitely messed up that edge right there. But let's see what it grades anyways. So what is a 9 with a little bit of an edge? I think that's going to get like, what, a 7? Guys, you guess down in the comments. Do you think this is going to get a 7? It looks pretty clean. I'm going to grab this. This is what I use to clean right here, just a microfiber. I'm just going to make sure, nice clean microfiber, that there was no fingerprints on here. Damn. Well, we all learned together, huh? We definitely learned that to be very careful, especially with those new PSA slabs. We definitely fucked up there. We definitely messed up that corner. Sorry. We definitely messed that corner up. Not too bad otherwise. You can even see it from the backside. I don't know if you can see it, but right there. We definitely messed up that edge. Other than that, though, the corners, the edges, everything else seems fine. So is he going to look at this and go, you know, that is a 9, you know, but it would have been a 9, but now it's a 7. I don't know. We're going to find out because we're going to go ahead and place this inside. We're going to put this in one of the new ones, and he's going to know. But here we go. Here comes the CJ Stroud. Will it be a 9? That sucks because this is one of the ones we really wanted to know if he was going to do it. But unfortunately, we found out the hard way. It's not easy busting open slabs. I would not recommend doing this. But let's go ahead. We're going to set that aside. We're going to see, what do you guys think he's going to grade that as? Say it now down in the comments, and let me know what time into the video it is. Because eventually, we're going to see what that grades. There it is. There's that slab. Oh my God, that one was rough, boys. That one was rough. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going. We have Jaden Reed. Now I'm nervous to break open Jaden Reed. Oh, man. Here we go. Let's hope for a clean break. Let's hope for a clean break on the bottle opener method. Is it going to work? We're going to find out. Here we go. Jaden Reed. We want this in one of his slabs. Let's go. Bear with me. You go deep enough, but not enough to mess up a corner. I just had a card fall back there. All right, so there's that. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. That just made me nervous. That one was a bit gummy. It was a bit gummy. All right. Here we go. I'm going to switch that around. All right, that lifted up beautifully. That was nice. Man, that pulled up nice. I don't know how I did that, but that literally lifted it right up. Look at that. Yeah, look how gummy these are. Look at. Wow. That's crazy. So we have that. The issue is we're not even down into the area where the card is yet. So even if you tried to pull this up, I mean, nothing's happening. I don't even know that you could do that. You could probably use a pliers right here, like a regular pliers, and probably snap that. And even still. So we can get this out probably. Maybe not. Even if we try to get that underneath. Let's try and get that under there. We're probably going to be breaking off pieces, but we don't know. We're going to peel that back. Well, we snapped off the whole top, so we've got that. We are now left with this. Not going to help us. Not going to help us at all. Oh, man. Or maybe it will. I don't know. Let's use these to kind of cut this cleanly here. Since we can. Definitely using some sort of weird plastic. Ooh, actually, we have the back of the card exposed. I don't know if you can see that. Do you think we could get this card off of here? Ooh, probably not without scratching it. Ooh, it's right there. It's right there. The only thing, there is that ridge there. If I lift this... Alright, I'm kind of pulling back on it. Gently. Pulling it out. Alright. That one somehow went smoothly. We are going to take that. Not bad. That one was not that bad. Let's go ahead and grab a sleeve there. Blow off our space. Blow that off. And now you can see our Jaden Reed right there. Let's go ahead and get that in focus. I don't know if he's in focus yet. Come on, buddy. Either way, here he is. You can see him down here. Pretty clean. I can see if I look around the edges, nothing was damaged at all. There's no weird dents like that last one. It looks clean. I don't see any surface anything. The corners look good. That top right corner is maybe a little bit soft. As far as the back side, I don't see anything. Maybe a faint print line. But other than that, it looks pretty clean. Centering, it is tough to tell on these cards. Maybe is, I don't even know if it's top heavy or right. Maybe it's a little bit more space on this left side than it is on the right side. I'm not sure. It looks pretty clean, though. We're going to flip to a new side of this rag. Let's go ahead and just give that a quick wipe. Make sure there's no fingerprints on there. I don't see any fingerprints. Certainly no scratches. We're going to use the top of that. There we go. Certainly no scratches. That looks pretty good. We'll slide that one in the top loader here, or in the sleeve. And there we are. Let's go ahead and get this one off. Jaden Reed, we just want to see it in his slab. We're going to see, is this also going to be an 8, or is this going to be lower graded? This one, I can say we did not damage pulling out of the slab. But there we go. Jaden Reed. Will this also be an 8? Set that down. This one is still in the case here. And now we get to find out about CGC. All right, I'm back. Here we go. I just had to get some water. I'm getting nervous over here. We got 3 more to break open. We have the Jordan Love, the Oddish, and, of course, one of his own. We're going to find out just how hard CGC is to break open in comparison of PSA. I hope that they have like the older one, like the older PSAs where they just snap right on open. We're going to find out. And now remember, this one, I didn't think it was a 9.5 to begin with. I think this was more of an 8. But we're going to find out. Let's see if this snaps open a little easier. And I figured out that I can kind of go like that and then just push down. That went flying. I should close my eyes when we do that. That was a nice break, but I don't know if that worked or not. CGC. Okay, interesting. We're just going to push down, close my eyes. And there's I hear stuff flying all around this room right now. All right, let's see if we can just lift this up. I mean, it looks like all we did was snap off these little corners here. I don't know if that did anything at all. I don't know if that did anything. I don't know if we're going to be able to, like, maybe snap this edge. Let's fix these pliers. We just want to be able to, like, undo this top part. These are in there. Oh, pretty good. This is some hard plastic. Ah, I can't even snap that, guys. It's barely making a dent. Oh, my God. All right, how are we going to break this one open? Breaking open a CGC slab. Not easy, boys and girls. Not easy. I do not have one of those snub-nosed pliers. So this is going to be tough. This is going to be tough. Let's see if we can just kind of... Oh my God, we got cards flying everywhere. I think it kind of dented it a bit. I don't know if that actually... Oh, there goes Russell Wilson. I don't know if that did anything. I'm afraid to do it on this corner. Oh, man, and we have another CGC after this. Russell Wilson, we'll go ahead and place you there. Oh, man, I like the idea of this. I wonder if I can kind of get maybe a better angle on this. Try and do it a little bit bigger. Nope, that didn't really do much. As I'm just closing my eyes. Oh my God, let's see if we can get a wedge in there. Okay. That's actually, believe it or not, we're making progress. We're making progress. We want to be able to lift that up. You know what? I'm going to grab maybe some sort of a, I was going to say a screwdriver or something. I need something a lot thinner that I can wedge under there and lift up. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that with this. We're going to see. We can get in there and just lift up. Oh, there we go. That's exactly, look at that. All right, that's exactly what we needed. That was beautiful. All right, there we go. Now that is nice. We can literally just lift that whole top part right off. All right, CGC, we figured you out. All right, we have Jordan Love right there at the 9.5. We're going to set that aside. And let's lift him out of here. He is statically stuck to this thing here. There we go. All right, let's put that off to the side. And here we are. Now you can look at this card a little bit closer like I did the first time. There it is. You can see it is slightly heavier on that side. The centering is a bit off. It does look really, really clean. But from this side, you can see that this bottom right corner is a little bit wonky. I don't know if you can see that in the camera. But it's a bit white. It's a bit wonky. And even these other two corners, top right, bottom left, they're not perfect. And the centering is off just a bit. And honestly, there's print lines all over the back of this thing. It might be hard. Let's see if I can get it. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it on camera. But there's print lines all on the back of that thing. So we're going to go ahead as usual. Let's flip this inside out just in case some dust got on there. All right, we're going to just lightly brush the surface. Make sure that there's no fingerprints. All right, and let's flip it around. Again, let's just make sure there's no fingerprints. There is print lines though, guys. Plenty of print lines. All right, no fingerprints. But there is print lines all up and down this thing. Again, I am shocked that this got a 9.5. That really is wild. There we go. We're going to go ahead and slide that in there and put it into our card saver. Card saver 2s is what I'm using. Mainly because they're a lot bigger. and probably easier to put in and out than some of the smaller ones. So we're just going to stretch that and get that down in there. All right, there we are. We got our Jordan Love in our card saver. We'll straighten them out a little bit. There we go. That is our 9.5. I do not think it's going to be a 9.5. But we will find out. Oh my God, look at this mess we have here. I have a big mess to clean up after this. All right, we're just going to push that off to the side and move on. All right, we've got oddish now. Now we know how to do this. So let's do it. Right from the edge here. We're going to go at this hard edge. Go deep. Press down. Close our eyes. All right, there it goes. We have our first one. And then we're going to do number 2. All right, ready? That one did not go. Let's try and do it this side. All right. Oh, it doesn't want to go, guys. It does not want to go. Oh my God. It's literally just CGC with the hard slaps, man. It's just bending my bottle opener. Holy crap. I can't even bend it back by hand. Holy crap, dude. These are a bit ridiculous, CGC. We didn't need all that. But what we do know is we can just go ahead and slide this in there and lift it up. All we gotta do is be able to get one of these underneath. Come on, man. Get underneath there. Come on. And then just lift it. Once you get that, all you gotta do is lift it up like that. Oh my God, dude. I have a massive mess to clean up. I should be wearing gloves. There's that gray. We can at least get that out of there. This one's just breaking apart now. Oh my God. All right, we're going to snap that. There we go. Pretty soon we're going to be able to get this card out. We should be able to right now, actually. Still locked in there. Oh, man. Oh, man. There we go. Now, the one thing about it being really, really hard, it does make it easy to just crack it and get it out safely. So there we are. There is our oddish. Now looking at it underneath the light. Let's see if we can focus there. I mean, the surface looks pretty good. It just looks off-centered. Oh, you know what? There's a big line. Let's see if I can get that on camera. If you can see, right there, there's a line going across like this. Right there. And that is a dent. There's a straight up dent right there. And then there is what looks to be maybe a tiny bit of whitening up here. Maybe another one there. And then if you can see, this bottom left corner, if you can see that there, it has a dot right there. That right there is a dot right on the corner. So this probably is right. What did it say? A 7.5, 75%. So the top, 25%, I guess. But there you go. There's oddish. I don't think I need to wipe it off. There was no fingerprints added to this one, really. I'll look. Yeah, no fingerprints. Oddish 7.5. So clear indications of damage. The front looked fine. It was a little off-center. It had a dent here, and it also had that corner down there. So 7.5, is he also going to give it a 7.5? We will see. We will see, guys. And we have one more left to go. I do just want to say thank you to everybody for joining me on this, because this is absolutely insane. I do not condone breaking open slabs. I do just want to state that one more time. Don't do this, guys. Don't do this. But we had to do it for science here today. I'm going to have to... I have bare feet right now. I'm going to have to watch out when I walk out of this room in a bit. And here we are going to find out, how hard is it to break open one of these slabs? And again, I am so sorry. You're probably going to be mad at me for doing this. I don't know if you've tried to break one of yours open or not. I have no idea. But we're going to find out. Are yours easy to break open? And maybe this will help you. If they are, maybe you'll go to a harder to break open slab. Call up PSA. But here we are. Matthew Golden, the one I'm most interested in. Will you grade it to the exact specifications of 99, 99, 98, and 100? Here we go. Oh, man. I don't want to break open a Matthew Golden 10 either, man. This one hurts. This one hurts. And we have, oh my God, we have our, our now bent bottle opener. All right, we're going to try the same method, boys. On the corner. Here we go. Okay, that snapped right away. A lot easier. Okay. Okay. That wasn't bad. I think I can get this in here without even breaking the second corner. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yeah, your slabs are going to be pretty easy to break open, buddy. This might have been the smoothest one yet. Look at that. Man, why couldn't they all be like that? I mean, that was nice. That was nice. Not going to lie. That was about as easy as that the first CGC one. There we are, Matthew Golden. Let's get him out of there. Matthew Golden, we're even going to leave that in the case like that. On the 10, let's look at it together. All right, centering. I mean, centering does look good. Centering looks nice. I'm just looking at the symbols everywhere. They're all spaced pretty nicely. Barely, maybe a little bit more, top heavy, just barely, maybe. But other than that, the corners, the edges, the surface, all look perfect. I mean, I don't see anything. On the back, corners, edges. Man, I don't think I even see any print lines. I'm just trying to look here. Man, I don't even see print lines in this one, boys. There's like maybe one kind of weird line going down the right, but I don't think that's a print line. Might even be like a faint dent or something. I don't even know what that is, but it looks pretty clean. It looks clean. I don't even need to wipe this one off. There's not a fingerprint. Not a nothing. We're going to blow it off, though, just in case there was dust, but I don't believe so. We're going to go ahead and slide this into a brand new sleeve right here. Get it into our card saver too. Let's grab a clean one. There we go. And we're going to find out if this ends up being a 10 again. There it is. If this ends up being a 10 again, this Matthew Golden, and how close to these subgrades it ends up being. We're also going to find out if he considers getting different slabs that are harder to break open. That will be the question. Now, I don't know if anyone's going to be busting open his slabs to resubmit them, at least not for a while, but maybe in the future it'll be something to look forward to look into. That is for sure. I was happy to do this for science, but here we go. So we have broken open all of these. Ready to submit them back into grading. We have their grades right there, so we'll have them there to reference back once we get these back. I'm gonna send all of those in along with our other cards here. And then when I send these in, I'm going to do sort of like a mixture. Well, I'll mix them all up so that they're not all like 10s in a row. And then I'm just going to like stick these in there randomly. That way they're all different. And it just kind of comes randomly to him. But I'm going to go ahead and send these bad boys off to Mint Authentication now. And in a couple of weeks, we'll get them back, and I'll make another video, and you guys will see the second part of this. Again, I just want to say thank you, everybody. I'm sure this was a long video already, and it might be even longer. But I just want to do this honestly, because I think it's for science, man. It's for science, and I think that's the way you got to do it. You got to do this honestly, and go through this, because the grading company is serious, and we just want to make sure that when we send our cards there, we're getting an honest grade, which I think we are. So let's see what happens. Let's see if I'm right. Everybody, we'll see you in part 2, which will happen like within a few seconds for you, but for me, it's going to be about 3 weeks. So here we go. Ready? 3, 2, 1. And we're back. It is July 2nd, Thursday night. I am here after work, and I am super excited to get into it because I have right here with me my box here back from Mint Authentication. And no, it did not actually take that long for it to come back to me. Actually, it only took about 2 or 3 days. I don't remember exactly. I can look back and look. But within 2 or 3 days, the package was already on its way back to me. I even sent to talk to Craig over there. And said, holy crap, that was fast. And he said his average wait time is 3 days at the most. They're usually out within 3 days, which is extremely impressive. We are really liking that a lot. I also understand that they probably don't have 50 million or whatever, 10 million orders going through. And so, if they're at that scale, eventually it'll get tough. But as of right now, anyways, you can still get your cards graded in Sweet Slabs and get back within 3 days. It'll be on its way back to you. Now, I did go on vacation. I have been busy. And so now I have had this for a while. And so now, finally, tonight, Thursday, July 2nd, we're going to go ahead and open this bad boy up and see exactly what grades we're going to get, because this is a deep dive. Now, I know it's going to be a longer video, obviously, with the beginning half and now this half. But I have a cheat sheet here with all of my notes on it, my own grader's notes from everything. I kind of mentioned that earlier in the earlier video, but I had this light over here. I had it way down low, really, really bright on the cards. I was using the Good God, Watson, I think we found it. I was using that for a bit, but what I found is I actually did better with my eyes alone because I have really good vision up close. And I was using these really nice soft, they were brand new when I used them, really nice soft microfiber cloths, just to wipe off like fingerprints and things like that I saw. And I was just using the light and looking close for surface damage, and I was able to do something with these lists to see, how does an average guy like me grade, just looking at it. And here's an example. 8, Emmitt Smith White Phoenix. I put an 8. I guess this will probably be an 8. And because rear scratch and some print lines. So it must have been a good enough scratch on the back that it would degrade it enough to be around an 8 or so, and then a print line. There's a print line that might have been a little heavier than like a faint print line, because when I was faint, I would write faint. So I have my cheat sheet here of everything that I thought it might get, and then of course you saw me absolutely fail opening up or busting open all of those slabs. I'm so super curious of what happens with the CJ Stroud. Did he even grade it? Did he grade it? I don't know. The only thing I do know is that I just have to wait a little bit longer for one of them to come back. My autograph authentication of my Jason Voorhees card, because he needed the bigger slabs. So that one will be on its way pretty soon, I'm sure. But let's go ahead and get into this. We have some exciting stuff to get into, so I'll go ahead and grab my knife. I'm not going to use the sword, and yes, I do have the sword right here, but I am not going to bust it out. We're going to use the little Smith & Wesson knife right here. There we go. How do you get a Smith & Wesson branded knife, you might ask? Well, I guess you'll have to find out. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and open this box up. He said the packaging might be slightly different because I am going to disclose here, I did send it directly to Craig over there from Helmets Hashmarks. And of course, with Mint Authentication. So he said the packaging might be slightly different than going through the full facility, the other facility. But he said it was pretty close, so it should be very, very similar. So here we go. We have the bags in here. I know you guys probably can't quite see, but this is what we're working with right here. Now, from some other videos that I've watched, you end up getting a lot of your bags or like packs back that are, you know, and like anything back that you use. Like here they are. Here's all the card savers. You end up getting all of those back, which is super cool. I mean, you're definitely not getting that at any of these other big time ones. And then look at this. This is a whole bag of fresh team bags. Look at that. Thank you, buddy. Dude, I appreciate you, man. That is freaking awesome because I love those. And so I'm imagining that we'll have to bust one open. I'm guessing that they're not in there. I think normally... oh, I see that I'm frozen there. Alright, so I'm seeing that they aren't automatically wrapped in these, so I think he sent a bag of these so that I can wrap them all in there. So it's close enough. Other than that, it's pretty close. I've seen some other ways where they come all wrapped in like a little bubble thing with the sleeve already on it. Now I understand that, so he was nice enough to give me these so that I can wrap them myself. That is very cool. And then he did say that he sent me this really, really cool, we have Lawrence Larry Olsanowski. We have, this is a 1948 Green Bay Packers card. Oh my God. Check that out. I'm gonna, while we pull these out, I will flip the camera eventually, but let's just show the camera here. Check that out. 1948 Packers card. I don't even know if it's focusing. I don't even know if it's focusing. Come on. That is freaking cool, man. That is sweet. Holy crap. Look at that helmet then. That's just like a little... It looks like just a little padding from like a... You know, one of those really thin mattress pads. That's basically what they had. Oh my God. That is cool, man. I'm liking that. This is definitely going to have to go up on the wall somewhere. I'm not sure where, but we're going to put it on a stand. We'll lean it up against Josh Jacobs for now. That is very, very cool. And then the rest of it in the bag here, we just have a bunch of stacks. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to pull them out, trying not to look at them all. Because we don't know. Remember, I mixed them up. I don't know if I don't even remember if I did it on video. Like, did I mix them up on video or not? But I mixed them all up and put them in there in all different orders and stuff like that. Just so that it'll be a lot harder to detect, like, you know, what one was broken open from a slab or not or whatever. So I tried to mix them up and make it so that grades were kind of randomly throughout all of them. And then that way it would be a little better. Maybe. I don't know. Like I'm trying to fool the guy, right? I don't know. I just wanted to get a grade. I didn't want to put all things that I thought were high in a row and then medium and low. I just tried to scatter them all across. Scatter like Pokemon in there and everything else. So let's go ahead and dive into this thing. Wow, we have a lot to go here. And then I have all of my things here. So first off, let's go ahead and switch this camera around. Right there. There we go. All right, so we have his Mint Authentication, grading made simple. And of course, there's a little QR code there that I don't know, may work, may or may not work. We'll find out. We'll find out. And then we have all of our grades from our other slabs that we broke open. I'm really excited to see, did he grade his own Matthew Golden to 10? Now, of course, I understand maybe I would have messed those cards up by breaking them open. I don't think I did, except for the CJ Stroud. So we will find out. But I have my cheat sheet here. I got my cards there. It's Thursday night. You guys already know. I got a beer going. We got a Yingling Lager in the building, guys. Yingling now available in Wisconsin. Cheers to the oldest brewery in America. So let's go ahead and get this thing started, guys. We have a lot of cards to go through, and we're going to compare them to what my notes were, and we're going to see just how aggressive he grades. Is it aggressive? Is it not? How does he stack up compared to, like, Beckett, which is one of the ones that are the hardest to be graded? This looks like we might get the Matthew Golden right away. So I'm going to go like this, open this up. These are those really, really cool bags. And they're unused. Another thing a lot of people have been noting, they do not have the peel off, which is very, very cool. I'm going to go and grab, really quick, something that I can cover these with. There we go. All right, so I've got one of these. This is one of these, like, little covers. I'm going to go like this. I'm actually going to go the front. I'm going to go on the front because I don't want to see the back yet until we flip it over and see like which it is, because I want to locate which one it is that we're actually looking at. That way we can compare it to our cheat sheet. Like I said, this is a bit of an in-depth review, and this is not meant to say anything bad at all about MINT Authentication or anything good at all. This is meant to be just an experiment to see how the grades actually go about. And so if something makes you look bad, I seriously apologize. But if things make you look good, I'm happy for you. But maybe there's some learning things along all this that can maybe help you out as well. Sort of like that thing where your slabs broke open really easy. I don't know if you remember that from the earlier part of the video. They did break open easy. So you did learn that today. I don't know if I was the first one to ever break open a slab. But I probably won't be the last if that is the case. So here we go. Let's dive into it. First card, I'm pretty sure I saw it quickly. I think was the Matthew Golden. And it is, guys. We are doing the Matthew Golden. So starting it off with one of the slabs that I broke open. Obviously, it was a 10. Now, did I damage it while I was busting it open? I'm not sure. But I don't think I did. Maybe I did. We'll find out. So here we go. Let's see what the grade was. 9.5, guys. So 9.5. I do have the old one right here. There it is. It was a 10. Now, do remember, it was the easiest one that I broke open. So I really don't think I damaged this one. This one, I think, was pretty much perfect, but I don't know. Who knows? On the back, this one said, here's the other thing. This could be 1 point off is what gave it that grade. So what we have here, I'm going to go ahead and change this real quick. I'm going to change the focus here. Configure video. Sorry, guys. Computer's running a little bit slow today as well. You guys can thank Jazamby for that. We're going to take that off. There we go. Isn't that better? Isn't that better? All right, so we're going to see how close these numbers actually were. So corners got 99. Edges 99, center 98, surface 100. So now I'm pretty sure you have to be within 15 points. So there was only a few missing. So there was enough to throw this off. Now I'm going to move this ahead of it because I don't want to see what's next. There we go. And let's look at the back of this. So this corners 99, edges 99, centering 100. Okay, so that's something that I could not have damaged. Centering 100, right? But it's only within 2 points. So that I can give some honest leeway to. That doesn't bother me. But the surface, 84, guys, from 100 to 84. So that means either A, when it was graded the first time, there was some sort of surface issue missed, or I damaged it while breaking it out of the slab. We are not sure, but it still did, because of all the other grades being so high, it still got a 9.5. So that is very, very interesting. Now, maybe later I'll make a separate video and see exactly what it was. I'll scan the QR code. We'll see what it was exactly that that did that, but we have so many cards to get into, so we're going to put it off to the side. That is a really, really cool way to start the video. I totally could have screwed that card up. So here we go. Let's go into the next one. All right, we got a Christian Watson on the blue Mosaic here. Christian Watson, rookie. Blue Mosaic, true rookie. Let's see what I had for that. Watson Blue Mosaic. So I had it at an 8 or a 7. Let's see. I had rear print lines, dimples, a little bit of centering, a front smudge, centering, something, corners, a little bit of corner, so a little bit of scratches. So like it seemed like there was like a little bit of everything on this one, and so I said it was going to be a 7 or an 8. But this is me being very strict on these cards, being super strict. I'm taking 5 minutes with each card. Now these guys probably don't have the time to take 5 minutes with each card, so let's do this next one. Here we go, and this is a 10, guys. It's got a 10. Uh-oh. This one, to me, I thought was going to be a 7 or 8, because I was thinking pretty hardcore this would be a 7 or 8, because I thought I saw, like, you know, maybe there was a weird corner, maybe there was a little print line. So let's look at that. Blue Mosaic. So print lines on the rear. There was print lines on the rear. So surface got 100. So, okay. So now we know faint print lines are not something that will be graded aggressively on. So print lines are going to be on most cards, and so they're not grading super aggressive on those, which is good. I thought centering was going to be a little bit off. Center 96. So that does make sense to me. Okay, centering was a little bit off. Let's see where else. Watson Blue Mosaic. There was a smudge on the front. And it may not have been a smudge. It may be something that had to do with the design. I don't know. But yeah, there was that. A little bit of centering. And there might have been one bottom front corner. It said bottom front corner. I think there was just like one of those. You probably can't see it, but it was like one of those little fuzzies that I couldn't get to go one way or the other. You guys know what I'm talking about. That was the only thing. Other than that, it was pretty clean. Centering was off a little bit, and he did note the centering was off. Corners 98, so there was a little bit. Edges 99. Okay, so he noticed maybe that fuzz in the corner only dropped at 2 points. Okay, so that's pretty good. But how about a 10 on Christian Watson? We like that. I definitely like that. Oh, man, and I already see this. So we have Matthew Golden on the pink down here. Let's see if I can find Golden, MG Green. That one might be on the back. Silver. Love, Watson, Dubs, Reed, Randy, Peyton, Emmett, Turbo, Fire, Pink, Golden. I said it would be maybe an 8. Rear upright corner. So I thought the corner on the top right, and then there's a little bit of print lines. That is going to be a 9. That is going to be a 9. I thought it might be an 8. Okay, so it seems like the grading is a little lighter so far. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but that's a nice 9 on that Golden. Great looking card right there. And let's see what he said. Corners 99. I did say that. Edges and then centering. Surface was a 68. That is a low grade. And we got, but all the other grades were so high, it still gave it a 9. So that is interesting to see. Let's find that again. Pink Golden, upright corner, print lines. And I had it as, let's see, I had it at an 8 for basically the print lines. So that must be why the surface was so bad, because of the print lines. Must have been pretty atrocious. So I'm imagining that surface just absolutely crushed it. Otherwise, this could have been a 10. And hey, so aggressive print lines, they do matter. But faint ones, we know that they don't. Okay, we know that they don't. And so far, from what I'm seeing, I don't think that corners are as aggressively graded, unless it's like, you know, some legit damage. You know what I mean? Unless it's legit damage. I don't think that like a very faint corner little thing, I don't think it's going to be a big deal because it's like almost impossible to have a perfect corner. All right, let's keep rolling along here. So this was the White Hot Rookies, Christian Watson. I already know I had this as a 10. I'm excited to see this. It has to be a 10. Based on this grading so far, it's got to be a 10. Let's see, Watson... White Hot Rookie had 10. Front, the left, the right, center was just barely off. Back, very faint print lines. So we know that faint print lines aren't going to be a problem, and a little bit of left to right center isn't going to take it away from being a 10. And there it is. That's a 10. We were correct on that. Awesome card, White Hot Rookies, Christian Watson. Nice 10 right there. Let's go ahead and... get that on our next one, and now let's see if that went true. Corners 99, almost perfect. Edges 99, centering, there it is, guys, centering 95, and surface 98. So those faint print lines, noticed them, but weren't enough to take it back. But that centering, definitely, that I noted, he also agreed, but it wasn't enough. Did it get away from a 10? I'm wondering if we're going to get one of those diamond labels. That would be cool. Now, this is a sick card, and definitely a sick card in a 10. I'm liking that. So that one did work out. So far, let's put that separate here. Almost agreed. That totally agreed. So we have one separate for the busted open cards. We have the almost agreed and then not agreed at all. And then we have, which was this for sure. And then we have super agreed. So we have those piles. So let's go ahead and get to the next one. This is going to be a long video, boys and girls. So let's go ahead. Let's keep it rolling. So this is going to be our Matthew Golden green right here. Matthew Golden on the green mosaic. So let's go MG green mosaic. I said had a 9 or higher. 9 or higher. Rear surface. Yeah, rear surface. All right, here we are. We're back. Sorry, my computer freaked out for the last 20 minutes, so we are back. I don't know where that left off, but we were looking at this Matthew Golden, and it got a 10, by the way. It got a 10. I have to go back in now. Let's go ahead and refocus. Configure video, focus. There we go. Let's do that again. All right, there we go. We got this Matthew Golden out of 10. I don't know exactly where it left off, but this is the green mosaic, and I was saying that all it had was a very faint rear surface issue, and then that was why I thought I got a 10. Was going to be a 9 or higher. 9 or higher. And it did get corners, edges, and centering. 89. Is that the green? Paint lines and centering. Rear surface, backside, top right corner, paint lines and centering. Rear surface. But centering got 89. The rest of it, 98. On corners, 99 edges, 100% on surface, which is interesting. And that's the green mosaic Matthew Golden. And that is the 10 right there. And I'm frozen again. Alright, and we're back. Holy crap, my computer is seriously freaking out. Thank you, Jazamby, for this lovely computer. Anyways, Matthew Golden, 10. We're going to put that off to the side. I said 9 or higher. I'm going to put that with, sort of agree. Sort of agree. We have 3 different piles, or totally agree, sort of agree, and don't agree at all. That is the one of them where I sort of agree. Although I did agree it was going to be a 9 or higher, I did say it had faint surface issues. He said that there was centering. The centering is off. Those mosaic cards, it is pretty hard to see the centering on that. Now, I also did slip this under there in the midst of all this, just to be able to block this out as well. So here we go. Let's lift it up. We got a Jordan Love rookie right here, silver. Jordan Love rookie silver. Let's see. Let's look for J Love. Select silver. I said 9.5 or a 10. 9.5 or a 10. I have on my notes front surface dots and rear print lines, but they're really faint. So as far as we know so far, rear print lines aren't going to make that big of an impact as long as they're really faint. But it had some dots on the front. So I'm saying as a 9.5 or a 10. That is what I thought it would be. Let's see what it got. And look at that, 9.5. I 100% agree with that. Let's see why he thought that. Sick card right there. So corners, edges, 1 off on that. Okay, that seems to be... he seems to... it's not often you see 100 on these. I will say that. Centering got a 91. And surface an 85. So let's look. Select silver. Yeah, front surface dots. So surface got an 85. That's probably what those dots were. So dots, he's grading pretty hard on the little dots, guys. And then rear print lines faint. But he also saw that centering was a 91. Yeah, and you can actually see it here. I don't know if you can see, but I can see like there's 2 other lines on either side. The centering is off. Select silver. That has to be... Because I'm pretty sure we did a Penny Select Jordan Love, but it was not a silver. It was a regular. But this one, the centering definitely is off on the back side. But the front side is pretty good. It's pretty good. Now, this is my own card. It was not the one that we broke it, but 9.5, 100% agree with that. All right, let's open up the next one. Now, I don't want to see what it is that we're opening, so let's go like that. Let's cover the first one and get in. And again, thank you guys for sticking around for this longer video, but we want to do a very in-depth test here to see exactly how he does go about grading. Now, obviously, like any other company, I mean, it's hard to grade thousands and thousands and thousands of cards when you're trying to move quickly. And so I took 5 minutes with each card. And so I'm probably going to be a little bit harder than he will be. So there's the Love Select Silver. I didn't say 9.5 or 10. There was the 9.5. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and slide this under the next one so we don't see what that is. Looks like another Jordan Love coming up. So here we go. This one right here is, oh, Jordan Love. This is the 2020 with the big 2020 up here. Nice Jordan Love rookie right here. Let's see what I did. Green Mosaic 2020. I said it was a 9 or higher because there was like a weird front dimple. And that was the only thing that I really saw. So let's go ahead and see what we got. Let's get a 10. 9 or higher. Come on. There it is. Sick card. And that is going to be a 10. I said, so some of these I have just a 9 on. And some of them I have 9 or up because I'm not sure. It might be a 10. But it was 9 or higher for sure. That is going to be a 10. I wonder if Surface is going to get something on this because I felt like the edges and corners were perfect. But there was like one weird dimple on the front. Here we go. Corners, 95. So corners, okay, it is a black border. So I can understand that. Edges, yes. Corners, edges, that makes sense. Centering, 97. That's pretty close. Surface, 98. So really, overall, a good grade. Surface, he might have seen that dimple. But I understand the corners and edges. They looked good to me. But then again, it is black. And he's probably looking for things that I'm not even looking for. But how about a nice 10 on that Jordan Love 2020? That is a sick card. I did agree with that. Let's put that in the agree pile. And we're going to slide this under here. I want to go from here. All right, we got another Jordan Love. This is going to be Green Mosaic. Let's go ahead and look at our cheat sheet here. We got to cross out the 2020 Jordan Love Green Mosaic. I put a 10. I said front, light centering, tiny dot, and faint rear scratch. Okay, faint rear scratch. Well, now we know that Surface, he's pretty aggressive on Surface, unless they're fine print lines. A tiny dot And then centering was a little bit off. So I said it was going to be a 10. Let's see what he said. Now I'm afraid. Now I'm afraid that centering is going to bring it down to a 9. Let's see here. And that is going to be a 10. Totally agree with that. I agree with that 100%. Nice green mosaic, Jordan Love. That is a 10. I said it was going to be 10. I did not say 9 or higher. I said 10. So it must have been very, very faint. Let's see what he said. 99 corners, 95 edges, 98 center, and 93 surface, guys. That's what I'm talking about. So surface, he is definitely the most aggressive on grading so far. Surface is definitely what I was looking for. And I think that is kind of the same thing. Centering and surface, I think get graded the hardest for most companies because corners and edges, like, I don't know, it's a little easier to be loose on those because it's just so almost impossible. But like if your surface is messed up, you've taken it from a 10 down to something. So I totally understand that. And the centering, of course, makes it not look as beautiful as what a centered one would. So I do fully understand that. There it is right there. I understand that. I agree. 10. Jordan Love. I'm liking that. All right, here we go. And this is the last one of this one. See what we got here. Oh, this is going to be our Aaron Rodgers on the gold. I already know this one's going to make me nervous. This one's making me nervous. Let's look for Aaron Rodgers gold mask. I said it was going to be a 9 or higher. Let's see. Small print lines on front. That's all I have. And now we know. Now I'm terrified because that surface, again, I think faint print lines in the back are going to give you like 2 points off or whatever, a couple points. But if there's some print, like weird surface issues on like the front of the card, I think it's really going to hit you hard. So this may get a 9 because there's like one line, I remember it. There's like one weird line that I'm like, oh God. But I said it was going to be a 9 or higher. I won't be surprised if it's a 9, but I'm hoping for a 10 because this is a sick card. Here we go. Is Aaron Rodgers in the mask gold parallel? Gold parallel. 9.5. Almost. I bet you it's the surface. Yeah, and I said 9 or higher. I did not say this would be a 10. I said it'd be a 9 or higher. And I was correct. I totally agree with this. 9.5. I fully agree. It's almost perfect. It's almost perfect, except one thing. It's going to be that surface. 81 surface. It's going to be that surface. Corners, edges, 98, 99. That seems to be par for the course. Centering, 94. So slightly off somewhere. It might be up and down. I don't know. But again, we could scan all these. I'm going to find out after this. I'm going to find out exactly where they were. We're not going to do that today, or we're going to have a 9-hour long video. But surface 81. There it is. Aggressive on surface, boys. And you know what? That's where it matters. It's where it matters. But either way, sick card. 9.5. I 100% agree. All right, let's go to our next pack. And again, just want to say, how cool is it to have these unused? I mean, I can't wait to use these in shipping. We're going to go ahead and put this here. All right. And then let's slip that underneath that one. I figured it out, boys. I figured it out. All right, on to our next stack. Here we go. This one is going to be, we got a Lucas Van Ness. Now, I know this is going to be a rookie. Nice silver prism right there. And if I'm not mistaken, I wrote that this was going to be a 10. Let's see. Van Ness, I think I did on the back. Jacobs Van Ness silver 10. All I wrote, boys, clean. That's all I wrote. I just said clean. It was also the last one I think I thought about putting in, so I'm like, it looks good. You know, I'm like, clean. I think it's a clean one. I think this is a solid 10. This might be the most solid 10 out of all of them. So if we don't, I have another Jacobs here that's a clean. But it says clean. I couldn't find anything. But maybe my eyes started going crazy. I will say that after a while, I started to realize after doing like 50 cards, it's like harder to really look at. You're looking at different things, you know? So someone sitting there doing 1,000 cards a day, man, that's a brutal job. Brutal job. Gotta be hard. Here we go. All right. Van Ness. I said it's clean after 40 cards. Let's see what Mint Authentication thought. Sick card. Thought it was centered. Thought the corners and edges were good. Let me get a diamond, baby. It's not a diamond. All right, we got a 10. All right, the chase, guys. Clearly the chase with Mint Authentication is the diamond. It has to be within 2 points to get that diamond, okay? It said clean. I thought clean. Maybe we get a diamond. It's not a diamond, but we did get a 10. Now let's see what wasn't clean about this card. All right, 99 corners, 99 edges. All right, 91 centering. So, oh, you know what? As I look at the back, the centering is off. And then, of course, surface. Surface, 96. 96, so there's something I didn't even see on the surface. 91 centering, and I can see it now on the back. The back is definitely thinner here, a little wider on that side. But on the front, I guess it is a little wider there. Yeah, look at that. So after 40 cards, even I was seeing things wrong. So all you guys that talk smack, man, it ain't as easy as you think, all right? Now, I am no professional, but still, got a 10 anyways, so I do agree. I agree when, oh, look at me grabbing another stack. All right, here we go. Let's go to our next one. Let's go ahead and slide that in there. All right, this next one, oh, I got to cross that out. So I did think it was going to be a 10. I do agree. Okay, we got a Barry Sanders. All right, so we got turbocharged, guys. We got a nice turbocharged Barry Sanders. Sick card. Like, I know it's not a rookie, but I love Barry Sanders, and this is just a sick-looking silver right here. Love that card. Let's see what I wrote down for it. Turbo Barry. I said this might be an 8. Turbo Barry. Rear bottom right corner and some print lines, right? So I think one of the corners was weird and then some print lines. But we know if it's a rear print line, it might as well not be anything. So that might bump it up. And then the corners, it doesn't seem like he's aggressive on corners. So this actually, now thinking about it through, this might not be an 8. I had 8 on here. I'm thinking this might be a 9 or higher. Because if those two are the things, the only things I saw, this might be a 9 or higher actually. So let's see what we got here. Lift that up. And we got a 10. 9 or higher. And you know why? Because corners and rear print lines don't seem to be bad unless the corner is really bad. And also if the surface is good and the centering is good, it's going to offset those two being bad, and you're gonna get yourself it's probably gonna be a low 10. It's probably gonna be a low 10. We're gonna see if it's within 15. It's actually pretty damn good. Corners 9 or 98, edges 97, center 98, surface 99. My God, this is actually this is actually one of our closest to being a diamond right here. We are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 off. We're 6 off from being a diamond. This is one of our closest ones. And what did I say? Rear bottom right corner and then print line. Print lines aren't going to do anything. Rear bottom right corner. I don't know if you guys see that. I want to show this to you on camera. You guys can see the whitening on that corner. Can you see that? You can literally see the white dot right there. And now, I don't know if that's a corner or if that's a fuzzy. That might just be a fuzzy. I really don't know, but the corner got a 98. Not aggressive on corners, guys. Not aggressive on corners. That's what we're finding out. Sick card. Love to see that in a 10. Oh, I also, I put an 8, so I did not agree on that one. So I'm going to put that off. Now that I know, though, I'm starting to understand the formula here. All right, here we go. What do we got next? We have a Josh. Oh, all right. This is a Josh Jacobs Phoenix Purple Rookie. Sick card from Miss Jazamby's collection here. Had to do a couple of Miss Jazambys. Nice, sick purple Josh Jacobs. Let's see where we have that. That might be on the back. Josh Jacobs purple. I have it as a 10. Fine, faint scratch. Fine print lines on back. okay, so fine print lines on back, I might as well just write that off because that seems to be, okay, it's acceptable. It doesn't really affect the overall card unless there's like a lot of them, right? If there's a few fine ones, it's really not fair to say it because it's like none of these companies print cards anymore that don't have faint print lines. It's like almost impossible. And that might be where you get your diamond grade, you know? But I did have a fine faint scratch. But I don't think that, as far as I can see now, I don't think that's going to be enough to take it from a 10. I think this is going to be a 10. Even based on now. So let's see, here we go. And there it is. It is, in fact, a 10, Josh Jacobs. There it is. There it is. We're learning. Could you imagine how much money this would cost if I did this with PSA? I mean, my God. Thank God for companies like this. Here we go. Sick. Sick Josh Jacobs. I do 100% agree with that. All right, let's keep going on to our next one. Next one here. Let's toss that. We're going to flip that. Flip it and reverse it, boys. All right, toss that under there. I'm going to lift that. There we go. All right, here we go. Next card up. All right, is going to be... We got a Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning. Red, white, and blue. Now, this one is a weird one because the first time I looked at it, I thought to myself, man, I might send this into PSA because I thought it was perfect. I was like, you know what? This one's perfect. Man, this is a perfect card. And then I sat and looked at it for like 20 minutes. And I started pointing out each individual little thing. And it's like, you know what? Graders are not looking at these that in-depthly. They're just not. They're looking at it. They're going, okay. You know what I mean? And I went from it for sure being a 10. And I think I ended up downgrading it. Where's Peyton Manning? Peyton Manning. There's the White Phoenix. Red, white, and blue. I have it as an 8. Front surface scratches and rear scratch. That makes me nervous. But here's the thing. We've learned that if they're really fine scratches, you can still get like a 10 or 9.5. But if they're like legit scratches or surface issues, I mean, you're getting screwed. So, not screwed, but you're definitely getting a heavy grade. So now I'm thinking if they were fine and like I was just second guessing myself, this could still be a 10. But I was saying 8. Let's see what we got. 8.5. He agreed with me. Okay, guys. If you look over your card for 20 minutes, you're going to be right. Look at that. 8.5. He agreed. I am glad that he did that. And he was like, you know what? I can't. So here we go. Let's cross that one off. Red, white, and blue. 8.5. Totally agree. I said it would be an 8. Actually, it was slightly higher. But yes, the more and more I looked at it, I found those weird surface issues. A couple scratches on front. Let's see what it says in the back. Corners 99. Edges 81. All right, I missed something about an edge. Oh my God. Yes, I certainly did. I missed that whole edge right there. I don't know if you guys can see that right there. If you can see that in the camera, it is like shark tooth. I don't know what the hell happened there, but that edge is bad. That's a really bad edge. And it got 81, centering 87, surface 86. Yeah, all around, this is bad. That edge is absolutely horrible. I started looking at it, and I'm like, you know, this sucks. I totally missed that edge, and I thought it was an 8. But here we go. This is an 8.5. 8.5. Yeah, that's looking rough. But we agree. And just to fill you in, our agree so far stack is huge. Okay, we had one that we sort of agreed with. We had 2 that we didn't originally agree with. But I do understand this one now. I'll have to look back at that one. And then we have 1 of our cards that we broke open. So we don't know. We haven't seen any of the other ones we busted open yet. So here we go. I think I just saw that. So here we go. Aaron Rodgers, Touchdown Masters. I did see that grade, but I already know that I agree with it. I already know there's the Aaron Rodgers Touchdown Masters. Looking for A-Rod. No, not there. I know he's here. Love Watson, Jerry, Randy, Payton, Emmett, Forge, PM, Red Zone, Deanna, TK, Orange, JR, Arrows, TD Masters. All right, 10. I just had a 10 on it with the star. I had a 10 on it with the star. Okay, we have that one covered up. All right, we're good. Yeah, and I did already see it, guys. It was a 10, and it had a star on it. I don't know why there was a star, but it had a 10. But it's not a diamond, guys. We have not gotten a diamond yet. No diamond, but I did say it was a 10. I have no notes. So that must have meant clean, sick card, sick 10, 97 corners, 99 edges, 91 centering, and 100. You see that? That's our first 100, I think. That might be our first 100. And it's a surface. Out of all things, we got 100 surface, guys. 100 surface on there. Maybe we did get another 100. I don't think so, though. But we got 100 on the freaking surface. That is mind-boggling. We have 100 surface. I did say it was a 10. That's a 10. Let's keep going. I think I need to use a different card. I can't use this one. Because it's like kind of sort of see-through. So I need like a different one. I need something different. I'm going to use one of these. All right. It's kind of see-through. I don't like that. Oh, no. We only got one here. All right. Here we go. This one. That is one. It feels thick. Oh, that's why. Oh, baby. Here we go. We got the Rookie Spectrus. Christian Watson. Rookie Spectrus from Spectra. 6 set. This is like a mosaic parallel. It is numbered. I have to cross out Rogers. Let's find Watson. Spectrus, I said it was a 9 or higher, but why? Centering on the front, rear slight edge, and then top left, let's see, dimple. Dimple on the top left, and a print line. So, dimple sounds like surface to me. Print line doesn't really matter, but a little, if I was seeing edge, I don't know, rear slight edge, I don't know, man. Centering, I'm thinking it might, I said 9 or higher. I do actually agree with that. I think it's still going to be a 9 or higher. This might actually get a 10, depending how bad the surface was. I'm still feeling 9 or higher. Here we go. Let's see what it is. That is going to be a 10. There it is. And I bet you it's going to be a low 10 because of that surface and possibly an edge. But that is a crispy 10 right there. I think this is very fair grading because when you look at it at first, you're like, man, this is a perfect card. But when you really sit for 5 or 10 minutes, you start to pick out every little thing you possibly can, and you go, this might not be a 10. But it's still not a diamond, boys. Corners, 95. There it is. We had edges, 98. Centering, 96. Surface was 100. He missed the dimple, boys. We got another surface, 100. Missed the dimple. We like that. We will take a 10. But we did say 9 or higher. We agree. Let's keep rolling into our next stack. We got a couple chunk of these left to go. All right, let's cover that. And let's go like that. Actually, I'm going to close my eyes and flip that. All right, there we go. All right, we got an Aaron Rodgers up next, boys. Aaron Rodgers, oh, heroes. Sick Aaron Rodgers on the heroes card. These are tough. You can get these graded in 10s. These are tough to find. Perfect. You know, you can find a million of them, but it's hard to find them perfect. I had touchdown masters. Here's the heroes. What was our last card there? That was the Christian Watson. Let me just cross that out real quick. Spectrus. All right. Here we go. Watson heroes I had as a 10. It was a 10. No notes. Just a 10. No notes. 9! 9, boys. We got you. I had it as a 10 with no notes, boys. But here we go. Let's see what he says. You know, I'm looking at it. I don't know. Centering looks good to me. Centering looks good. You know what? It's probably going to be a surface issue. No, it wasn't. Surface. Surface 100. Surface 100. Corners, edges, centering 75. Maybe on the back. Because, okay, so it's a rectangle, but the rectangle in it is cocked. It's cocked. And so this is a little thinner than that, but up here is perfectly equal. And when you look from the front, this is equal to that, and that is equal to that. So the front is centered perfectly, I think. On the back, though, I would say that it is off-center, but 75? This is the first card I believe I disagree with you on. I believe I disagree with you on the centering of 75. I think that it is off-center on the back, but it's not as bad. It's just a weird card. It's a very weird card. But that is a 9. Otherwise, I did for sure think it was a 10, so I disagree with that one. We'll put that down. But there's not many. We have like a stack over here, I agree. Every now and then that's going to happen. I think that should be a 10. But that's okay. We're going to keep on rolling. Cheers, everybody. Let's keep it rolling, baby. Keep it rolling. We're doing this for science, everybody. We're doing it for science. Here we go. Ooh, I saw that rookie wave coming up. Very excited for that one. All right, here we go. Here we go. We have a Jaden Reed pink rookie. Nice pink optic, Jaden Reed, right there. All right, I'm going to go ahead and cross out the heroes. There we go. Let's go for J. Reed. J. Reed, pink optic. I had it as a 10. Oh, no. Tiny dimple on front. We have noticed he has missed dimples before, but will he miss them all? Fine print line on back. That he doesn't care about. We know that. This is going to be a 10, boys. This is going to be a 10. I said 10. It's going to be a 10. And it is a 10. Yep, we were correct on that. Fine print line don't matter. Dimples. It might have been one weird dimple somewhere in the front. I don't remember. It's so small, probably. But yeah, here we go. That is going to be 98 corners, 97 edges, 94 centering, 100% surface. The dimples. He's not seeing the dimples. You're not seeing the dimples over there. There we go. Centering was slightly off, maybe. What did it say? 94? I mean, that's pretty damn good centering. It might be just barely off. Yeah, you can see maybe a little bit left heavy there. Maybe top heavy. But not bad. Overall, agree. Clean 10. Clean 10 on the pink Jaden Reed. Let's keep going. Oh, and I can see this one too. I can already see it. Here is the rookie wave, and that is also going to be a 10. Rookie wave right there, which is sick because that's a case hit. Let's find that. Jaden Reed, blue wave, or wave clear. There we go. I had it as a 9 or higher. Slight front centering, and then rear bottom scratch thing. I don't know how to explain it. Let's see what this says. 99 corners. Yeah, corners are perfect. Edges, 99. Centering. I did say that, right? I did say the center. Where did we go? J. Reed clear. Yeah, centering. Yep, I did say centering, 91, and then surface. That weird, I don't know if it was a crease or if it was just like something that was part of the card. I wasn't sure, but I wrote it down anyways. But the centering definitely was the thing that I mentioned. Otherwise, look how close. That was almost a diamond, boys. 99, 99, 100. But that centering just barely off. But still, a 10. I agree with it. I agree with it. I agree. I'm liking it. Wave clear. There we go. All right, on to our next bag here. We haven't gotten any more of these ones that we snapped open yet. We're waiting for all those. Let's slide this in here. All right, here we go. We have Josh Jacobs, rookie. Elite Series rookie is, I can already look at it. I already know. I said it was going to be a 10. I already know. I know I'm going to flip it on the back. I said it was going to be a 10. Bam! There it is. No diamond yet. No diamond. Come on, man. We are waiting for a diamond, boys. That is what we want. That is the chase. Elite Series just said clean. It said clean. Clean. Why aren't we diamond? Let's see. 98 corners, 97 edges, 99 center, 98 surface. Man, that one's close. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, minus. Okay, yeah. So we're 6 off again. Man. So what I'm learning about this for myself is I'm not paying attention to the edges as much as I should. But that is a 10. We agree. Put it off to the side. All right, let's slide this under here. All right, we have a Fireforged, sick Fireforged Randy Moss on the purple, numbered out of Phoenix. Super sick purple color match. Randy Moss. Let's see where this one was. Where is Randy? January TK. Randy Moss Fireforged. I had this low, guys. I had 7 or a 6. Bad front surface, rear print lines. Now, print lines might not be a huge issue for him. But the front surface seemed like it had a lot of print lines too. We're going to find out how aggressive he is at grading on that. But I don't think it's going to be a 10. I don't. It is! Okay, print lines are not that much of an issue for him. He does not care about the print lines. And these might be actually they're not scratches. They're like part of the card. But I wasn't sure. It seemed to me like they were an issue, but I wasn't sure. It might just be part of the card. Apparently it was, but I bet that surface is an issue. 95 corners, 95 edge, 97 center, 98 surface. So the print lines, guys, aren't a huge issue on these cards. And again, this is one I looked over very in-depthly, super close, because I was, that was the only thing that I could find was print lines, and they seemed bad on the front. Maybe they're not. Here we go. I'll take it. 10. That one I am going to say that I disagreed with, though, because I said it was going to be lower. But I like the way it came out, that's for sure. Let's see what we got next. We have Emmitt Smith White Shimmer. Emmitt Smith White Shimmer out of Phoenix. Let's go ahead and wipe this one off. Where? I see White Phoenix right there. Randy Fireforged. Emmitt Smith White Phoenix. Rear scratch and print line. 8. Okay, print line, you might as well. So right now I'm going to say it was like a 9. And it depends how aggressive he graded the scratch. This might be a 10. It seems a little loose, but he's hardcore on surface sometimes. It's a 10. It is a 10. All right, here we go. Now, I wish I could, perfectly remember, what kind of a, scratch was it. It might be a very faint scratch. You know what I mean? Let's see. Surface 99, center 96, corners 100, edges 99. This might have been our best. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We were 4 away. This is actually our best graded one. In my opinion, it would have been a lower graded one. But again, because of print lines, and faint scratches on their rear. So print lines aren't an issue, guys. This is our highest graded one so far. I have to put that in, I disagree because I thought it was going to be lower. But again, I don't know what the hell I'm looking for. You know what I mean? I don't know what I'm looking for. I'm looking for print lines. I'm thinking they were aggressive. Apparently they weren't. Apparently print lines aren't as much of a big deal here. Let's go ahead and flip that. All right, we can put this one down here, which I like that. I like that because that means that a lot of these are going to be 10s. I love that. I'm not as crazy about print lines. You're more so looking at the edges, corners, and the centering, which I agree with because Panini and Topps can't print a freaking card without a print line these days. We have Matt LaFleur, Green Ice. Short print, guys. Super short print on the Green Ice. Let's, whoa. Falling apart. Let's go ahead and do this. Let's see here. What did I just do? Emmitt. So where's Matt LaFleur? MLF. JR. Oh. I'm losing my sheet here. Nope. Green Ice LaFleur. I just said it was a 10. I just said 10. That's all I said. Must have been clean. It was the first one I looked at. And it is. Not a diamond, dude. When are we going to get that diamond, boys? Man, that's all I want. I just want to get one diamond. We have a Gem Mint 10. Beautiful green ice LaFleur. 97, 98, 93 center, 100 surface, man. Man, that was another close one, but that centering must have been just off enough to not get it there. That is a 10. We did agree with that. Let's keep rolling along. Oh, I can already see this. Oh, baby. Oh, yeah. I already saw it. I ruined it for myself, but that's okay. Jordan Love on the purple Phoenix. Absolutely sick. Absolutely sick. Where's my J Loves? Where's my J Love? Purple Phoenix. I said it was a 10. I said front dot. That's all I could find. Out of everything, I said front dot. That's it. And apparently dots, he doesn't care about dots as much, or print lines. That's a 10. You already know. It's not a diamond, though. It's not a diamond. When are we going to get a diamond? Oh, my God. The diamonds are the chase. That's sick, though. Rookie, Jordan Love on the purple. 96 corners, 98 edges, 98 center, 99 surface. That might be our closest. 1, 2, 3. Nah, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, that's not our closest, but man, that is good. Numbered out of 149. It looks like the corners, there might have been a tad corner issue. I mean, you guys, you have to remember, this is a score out of 400. So if you're getting 2 points off on edges, that's 2 out of 400 points. That means it is almost perfect. So this might look super loose, but the truth is, I sent in a lot of cards I thought were going to get 10s. So here we go. Let's keep rolling. We have Christian Watson. That is going to be the sick rookie black prism right there. Super sick card. Watson, where are you? Shimmer black prism. I had 9 or higher. Tiny bit of centering. Tiny dimple. Might as well just delete that. Rear tiny crease. I have something else. Rear corners, question mark. I don't know. It might be a fluky thing. Yeah, so I think this is going to be a 10. Slight centering. It's not going to be enough to throw it off. Damn it! 9! Oh, shit. I am wrong. Watson black. All right, what did I say? Front, bottom, centering. Yes, tiny dimple. Rear tiny crease. Rear corners, question mark. 10 if lucky. Oh, okay, it said 9 or higher, 10 if lucky. So I must have seen something. I have to agree. He agreed. It's a 9. It'd be a 10 if I was lucky, but I'm not lucky. I know the centering was off. Surface 100. Dimples, they don't matter, guys. Dimples, tiny dimples, crease, didn't matter. Centering, 72. On centering is what completely killed it. 98 corners, 99 edges, 100 surface. Centering, though, yeah, it is top heavy. It is a top heavy centering, but you know what? Like PSA says, you're supposed to look at it like an art piece and go, man, that's beautiful. Diamond 10. You know what I mean? Diamond 10. No, that is a 9. I said it'd be a 9 or higher. 10 if lucky. And that I do agree. I agree. 9 or higher, 10 if lucky. It was a 9. He agreed. It was a 9. All right, let's go into our next package here. Oh, we got some Pokemon. Oh, we got our Pokemon bundle here, boys. We got our Pokemon bundle. All right, let's flip that over. You gotta throw this one in there. All right, here we go. Some of these are gonna be ones that we cracked open. So here we go. Let's take a sip. Cheers, everybody. Let's dive in. All right, our very first one here. All right, this is going to be the Electrode. All right, so this card exactly. Super sick card. This card happens to be a friend of mine's, a co-worker of mine. I said, hey, I need like another Pokemon card that's kind of cool, something cool from your collection, nothing you're looking to sell, something that you like. I just need to add another Pokemon card in the mix, just so that it's not only like 2 Pokemon cards. You know, I need another one. Can you give me a Pokemon card? And he said this is one of his favorite cards, one of his favorite Pokemon. Just a cool card. And so he sent it in. And I'm pretty sure on the back here, I looked at it, electrode, I said a slight centering issue, just slight. So I said it was either going to be a 9 or a 10, but it could definitely be either. So if everything else is perfect, but it's just slight centering, I think this is going to be a 10. But I don't know how Pokemon grading goes, so I'm not a professional at that. But let's see how it goes. Super sick card, and it is gonna be a 10. Could you imagine if that was going to be the diamond, the only diamond is the one not going to me? Thank you, my buddy Jay, for donating this for the experiment here. It does look really close. It's so hard to say in the centering because it's such a thin border that goes around this one. It's so hard to say. But let's hear what it said on the back. 98 corners, 99 edges, 99 surface, and 93 centering. So again, when you're getting 1 point out of 400 off on something, you know what I mean? 1 point out of 99, that means 1% off surface, 1% off edges, 2% off corners. I mean, that is damn good. And then 93 centering, just barely off on centering, just barely. Actually, you can see down the back, it's just barely a little bit more right-handed. But overall, that definitely deserves a great 10 right there. I can't wait to send them the picture of that. That is exciting. Very, very cool. We did agree on that. All right, next Pokemon. I can already tell this is the Oddish. We broke this open. Let me find that. Oddish. This was CGC 7.5. Okay, 7.5. We're going to see what he graded it as right here. Let's see. And, I don't know how you grade Pokemon cards exactly, but here we go. We're going to go ahead and do it and see what he says about it and why it was a 7.5. I don't have any notes written down. Now, I could have damaged it while opening it, but this is one of the ones I don't think I damaged it while opening it. So I think this one was clean. There's no foil or anything to worry about. I think this one was clean. Let's see what he says. Oddish. 7.5. 7.5. He agrees. 7.5. And let's see exactly why. If I look at it, I go, centering is a bit, I don't know. I don't know what to look for. There's probably some damage. I think there was some damage on the backside somewhere. Oh, yeah, there was this bottom corner that was pretty jacked up. Let's see what he said. Corners 59. Exactly, 59. Now, let me show you this corner down there. I don't know if you can see that or not. There is a pretty jacked up corner right down in there. Pretty bad corner. Corners 59, edges 94, centering 97, surface 72. Yeah, there might have been some other marks. I think there's a scratch somewhere. Yeah, totally agreed upon. 7.5. You and CGC agree. Very nicely done. Very nice. Let's keep rolling on those. So far, I may have damaged your, or no, what was it? Hold on, I have to look back at this now. It's bothering me. All right, so let's see. The centering was only 2 points off. That wasn't an issue, but the surface was, yeah, the corners and edges were perfect, but the surface was worse the second time around, and that certainly could have been due to me breaking open the slab. So I can see that. 7.5 for the Oddish. You totally agreed on that. So I think so far we're doing pretty good. All right, here we go. Here's the next one. This one we also broke open, boys. This one right here was the Pikachu EX right there. Pikachu EX. We did break this open. Let's find that. Here we go. That was a 9. PSA 9, guys. PSA 9. I think when we looked at it, it looked pretty clean. Except the centering was just slightly off. And there might have been a dot or something. But overall, it looked pretty good. But there was a little bit off. And that's why it was a 9. Let's see what he says. He is giving it a 10, baby. There we go. I think it was probably perfect. Except barely a little bit of centering. Maybe there was one thing. But I think that's a fair grade. I think, honestly, you probably could have sent this card through PSA 100 times, and I think, you know, half the time you're getting a 10, half the time you're getting a 9. Honestly, it's a really clean card. This is 94 corners, 99 edges, 92 centering, which is the main one, and then the surface, 100. Clean surface. Corners are almost perfect, but yeah, I think there might have been one dot somewhere, like a dot of whitening on this bottom right corner. And that's where the corners got the low score and the centering as well. I think this is a much fairer grade, a 10. I think if you sent this to PSA, like I said, 100 times, you're going to get a 10 at least half the time. I think that's fair. I agree with that. Where's my 9? Here it is. PSA 9, now a 10. I will take that. I think that's fair. And I like that grade better. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. All right. See what we got next. We were down to just a couple more bags, guys. Couple more bags. Actually, we're going to do some quick editing. I'll be right back. 3, 2. Sorry about that, but here, cheers, everybody. We are back. We're back in it. Gonna keep it going. All right, here we go. Next card. Next card up. Here we go. This is the Jaden Reed Blue Wave from Optic. Blue Wave from Optic. Let's find Jaden Reed on our cheat sheet here. Let's see. J. Reed Blue Wave. 9 or higher. Bottom front edge. It just says rough. I don't know what that means. Faint print line on back and a dimple. Now we know print lines and dimples aren't a big deal, but that edge, he is a little aggressive on the edges. So I said 9 or higher. I won't be surprised if this is a 9. And it is a 10, but not a diamond, of course. Definitely not going to be a diamond. I think there's a front bottom edge I thought was weird, but even now looking at it, I don't even know what I'm looking at. I don't even see a weird edge. I think I just started looking at him so closely, my eyes are going crazy. You can say corners were 99, so that wasn't an issue. 97 edges, 93 centering, 98 surface. So centering was the biggest issue. On the back, you know what I've noticed myself? I was thinking that the rear centering was never going to really be an issue, that the front centering mattered the most. But I have been wrong about that. He is as aggressive on the rear centering as he is on the front centering, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. Here we go. And it is slightly thicker on the left side. So there is some centering issue there. Just a little bit. But either way, it is a 10. It is a 10. And I said 9 or higher. Let's go ahead and add that Blue Wave. 9 or higher. All right. So let's move on to our next card. This is going to be Watson Disco here. We have a Watson. This is going to be that variation. Like, not sepia, but it's black and white. Variation Disco. Let's see what we had here. 9. I just had it as a 9. Front centering, bottom right print lines, rear faint print lines. Print lines don't seem to be an issue, but centering definitely is an issue. This may be a 10, but with everything else good. No! Oh! 8.5, but I did have it as a hard 9, guys. I had it as a hard 9. I did not say 9 or higher, because I wasn't sure. I said 9. So this said 8.5. Is it going to be the centering and the print lines, the surface? We're going to find out. And if anything, I do actually agree with it. Let's see. Center, 61. Yes, centering was its biggest one. Surface, 99. Edges, 99. Corners, 98. Could have been perfect, but that centering, off, man. Centering was off. Yeah, top to bottom centering is pretty bad. Even right to left is a little off. The centering absolutely murdered this this grade right here. 8.5. I think that I want to say agree because I said it was a hard 9. It was slightly lower. I'm going to put this in the only other one that is a kind of agree one. I do agree with it, but I have to put it off because it was in this pile is because it wasn't what I said on paper, but I do actually agree with that. Now, here we go. On to the next one. This is going to be Christian Watson on the orange mosaic. I said 9 or an 8. Rear edge, top left. And then faint print lines on back. Front white dot. Slight rear centering. Oh, God. This has a lot. 9 or an 8 is what I said. Let's see how aggressive he went. 9.5. So he went slightly higher than me. So I was looking a little too closely at this one. Nice 9.5 there. I will take that. But I definitely did not say a 10. He agrees. Not a 10. Centering, he agrees. 84. Centering was off. But corners, edges, and surface were all good. 98, 99, 100. Man, a lot of centering. A lot of centering issues with me. You can definitely see it now. The centering is off. Yes, centering is off. 9.5. I did say 8 or 9, so I have to put this in the one that I kind of don't. Although I'm fine with that. Fine with that. Let's keep moving along. I did agree. I did originally think it would be a 9 or an 8. It is a 9.5, slightly higher than I thought. All right, we got something else here going on. Oh, okay. These were just wrapped. He must have ran out of the bags. Okay, let's go like this. Go here when they have a couple more left here, guys. Only a couple more left. All right, this one right here is going to be Brett Favre. Fire Forged. Fire Forged. Let's see. Peyton, Watson. Not seeing it. Fire Forged Favre. I had it as an 8. Rear, bottom, right corner, and print line. So it might have had a bad corner and a print line, but honestly, I'm going to revise that to maybe a 9. But I had it as an 8. Let's see what he gave us. A 10. He gave us a 10 on the Fire Forge. That is sick. It's such a sick card. Let's see if he agrees with the corner and the print line. Corner's 96, so he did give us a little bit off of that. Edge is 97, centering 92. But surface, again, print lines don't seem to be an issue. But overall, I think that was barely a 10. Barely. Yeah, because that's 4, 5, 6, 7, plus 8. Yeah, man, wow. That is literally barely a 10. This should be a 9. It is so close. I had it as an 8, but also I was thinking that print lines are going to be a little bit more aggressively graded. Now that I know they're not, I can see like this was teetering on a 9 or a 10. Teetering on a 9 or a 10, and I think we got lucky. I think if we sent this one in a couple times, it would be a 9 or a 10 based on, just multiple times. This is one that teeters for sure. We barely got a 10 on that one. I like that, but I do have to put it in that category. Let's see what we got next. All right, here we go. This is one that we broke out. This is going to be Jordan Love on the, not silver, just the chrome select right here. And that was a CGC 9.5. 9.5. And CGC, I don't know why they graded it that way. We have no idea. That's the kind of bummer with them. Cheers, everybody. But we're going to see why. Oh, and you know what? I think this is one. I didn't write notes down, but I think I did say that like the centering was actually pretty bad on this, and that there was like a wonky corner or two. And I thought that it actually should have been graded lower, and that this was going to be a mistake giving it or taking it out of the 9.5 case. I think it was going to be a mistake. Let's see what he thought. He actually he actually agreed exactly with it. 9.5. All right, we got a 9.5 on that as well. But the centering is off. You've been so aggressive on centering. And I thought the corners were a little jacked up. Maybe not. I don't know. Centering, 91. Corners, 87. Edges, 97. Surface, 98. Maybe the edges and surface are so good. This must barely be a 9.5. Barely be a 9.5. All right? I think it should be lower than that. I disagree with this. But, hey, it went from a CGC 9.5 to a mint 9.5. He's been pretty spot on with the busted open slabs, guys. Been pretty spot on. I cannot complain with that. It looks like, I mean, his grading scale seems to be pretty good with all the other ones. I mean, it is right on along with them. And not only that, I do agree. Right now I'm looking at the stack. You guys probably can't see it. There it is. That tall stack is the ones that I, as a guy that doesn't know what he's doing, thought, and he agreed. And then there's a few that were off. But other than that, I think that's fair, and I think that's what you're going to get with almost anybody. But we are finding out how the grading is. And you may change things as things go on here. Things may change. Who knows? This may be a learning experience for Mint as well as it is for us. So here we go. On to our next one. This is going to be Jaden Reed. This is going to be the green velocity right there. Let's see what we wrote down for that. Oh, hold on. Moving my paper now. There we go. Moving the camera. All right. Jaden Reed, green velocity, or green laser I wrote. I said 8 to a 9.5. I must not have thought it'd be a 10. Bottom from the edge is rough. 3 dimples and rear print lines. So print lines you can remove. Dimples, if it was 1 dimple, I'd remove it, but there's 3, so he might see them. Oh, no, I think those look like they're part of the card. I don't think he's going to care about that. Front, bottom, edge, honestly, 8 to 9.5. I think this might be a 10 or 9. I think it's going to be a 9 or a 10. Here we go. It's a 10, yeah. See, now that I know that I think those dimples were part of the design, and then print lines aren't a big deal. This is going to be a 10. That's for sure a 10. There it is. 10. Boom. 100 surface, yeah, the dimples, I think were part of the design. Edges, 99. Corners, 99. Centering, 96. There it is. Centering. Man, aggressive on the centering. I have to put this in the kind of one because it wasn't my original paper, but I do agree with it now. All right, here we go. We got 3 more, guys. 3 more to go. Let's see what we got. Let's go like this. I just want 1 diamond. I want 1 diamond, guys. And I might not get one. I got to send in a more perfect card to get that diamond. All right, here we go. This is going to be... Oh, I did do a new one, boys. That's right. I did send in the Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor on the Aqua, numbered out of 199. Just pulled it recently with you guys on a live stream. Just a sick card. Jonathan Taylor, old Badger right there. And I believe... Where's JTT? I think I had it as a 10. Rear dimple. That's all I had. So we might as well just go ahead and delete that. That's going to be a 10. There it is. There it is. That's definitely a 10. Not a diamond, though. Where's the diamond? Let me guess. Centering. Edges. Centering 98. Edges 94. No shit, huh? Corners 99. Surface 99. There it is. That's going to be one of our closest ones, too, right there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, man. That's got to be one of our closest ones to a diamond. Super sick, though. I did say it was going to be a 10. We agree. We agree. Oh, boy. Here we go. Here we go. Is this... Oh, that's Watson. Jaden Reed is the one that we sent. We got Jaden Reed Phoenix still coming up. And a CJ Stroud botched... busted opening that I'm excited to see what the heck we ended up getting on that. All right, here we go. Christian Watson on the white shimmer. Let's lift this up for you guys. Sick card. Let's find Watson. Shimmer, I said 8 or 9. Front dimple. Rear print lines. Right corner. Fine scratch. So, honestly, I think this might be a 9 or a 10. I would change it to a 9 or a 10 now, based off what I said. Possible corner, faint print lines, light dimple. It doesn't seem like he's grading as hard on those things. I think this is a 9 or a 10, and I'd be happy with either. And it's a 9. There it is. All right, so 9. And originally, I had said 9 or an 8 because of that. Or no, 8 or 9. I said 8 or 9. I would have moved it to a 9 or 10 after knowing today. But 9 was the one. So I do 100% agree with this. Let's see what he said. So the corners 94. Yep, we did say that. The edges, center 98, and surface 100. Again, the dimples and the print lines don't seem to matter at all. Or maybe it's whatever light he's using. Maybe whatever light they're using over there. Maybe you gotta change your light. I don't know. But corners, the edges for sure, 75. Hard edges. It's because it's black. We got black, and so like you can really see it. But that is a sick card. Christian Watson, white shimmer, rookie, sick. We do agree with that though. We do agree. Okay, let's slide that. And where's our card there? All right, here we go. Next card out. Devontae Adams on the Phoenix, numbered yellow. Sick Phoenix right there. Let's find that. Phoenix. I said it was going to be a 9 or higher. Scratch on front. Is it the design? I said design question mark. This is going to be a 10. Oh my God. I thought, no, it must not have been the design, boys. That is a hard 8. I mean, it must be surface. Scratch on front. Design question mark? It must be a bad surface scratch or something. I don't know. We're going to find out together. Surface. Our lowest surface grade today. 45. It wasn't part of the design. We got a jick one for our boy Devontae. Wasn't part of the design, Devontae. It was not part of the design. 99 corners, 99 edges, 98 center. Surface, 45, bro. 45. Our lowest grade. It was right here. Can you guys see that line right there? Right there. It looks like it's the ground in the picture. I can't tell if it's a scratch or if it's the ground. I can't tell if that's part of the design. They thought not. So, what did I originally say on this? I said 9 or higher. It's an 8. We're going to put it in the almost category. All right, let's keep rolling. Tuckercraft. Oh, man. Now I'm scared about this one. TK. I said 9 or higher. Very small scratch on front, and centering is just barely off. But now I know that you are pretty aggressive on centering. Now I'm afraid. The scratch I'm not even worried about. It's the centering. I said 9 or higher. I'm terrified now. Terrified. Tuckercraft orange. Come on, man. 9.5. I said 9 or higher. 9.5. Now, when you got to grade this many corners, I expect to see a little grade. If it's 100 on corners, I'm stopping this video right now. Corners 97. All right, thank God. Edges 98, centering 82, surface 100. Yeah, it was the centering. It is just barely off, man. Barely off. 9.5. Still sick. Hey, I agree with it. I 100% agree with that. I did say 9 or higher. Absolutely. I was hoping to see a 10 on that bad boy, but I understand the centering was going to be the main thing setting that off, and it was. So that's something beautiful about this is you really do understand your grade most of the time. This is a big sample size too, so there's going to be a few times where it's a little off, you know, and really out of all these so far, there's only been a few that I thought were way off. But after them all, and that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out of all of these so far that I thought were off, and it was only by like 2 grades, you know? And that's me not knowing what the heck I'm doing. So, I mean, that's pretty damn good, I gotta say. Here we go. We are on to our next one. This is gonna be Christian Watson. Prism Rookie Orange Ice. Sick card. What did I write down for this? 10. I wrote a 10. Slight dimple on back. Slight centering. Oh, no. Barely. Oh, no. Oh, no. The dimple, I know he's not even looking at that. He ain't even seen the dimple unless we got unlucky. But the centering, I'm scared now. I'm scared. I said it's a 10. It's a 10! Okay, and it's funny because it says centering, and then in parentheses it says barely, which I did not write on the other ones. So it must have been barely off. Let's see what he says about centering. 93 was the worst grade. Look at that. 99 corners, 100 edges, 100 surface, 93 center. So close. So close to a diamond, guys. So close. We're not going to get a diamond, I don't think. But that's sick. I agree. I agree. That's a 10. All right, we got a Jaden. Oh, we got a Jaden Reed up next, boys. This Jaden Reed is... where did that go? Shimmer was done. That one's done. Where's the orange ice? There it is. All right. Jaden Reed, white shimmer, boys. This one was a PSA 8. And we don't know why, because PSA doesn't give a shit about you. They don't care to tell you why. You got an 8. Suck it. Deal with it. That's what they say. You don't have to tell you why. It was an 8, all right? It was an 8. But I did look at it, and I did see some things, you know, and I don't have a guess on what it is. It's probably an 8 or a 9 or something. I don't see it being a 10. Unless it is, I have no idea. Maybe someone at PSA had a bad day. I hope so. And they did. PSA had a bad day, okay? PSA had a bad day. You know what? I just want to see this card with a 10 above it on my mantle, you know? And I'm happy to see that. But let's see what they did say. 99 corners, 98 edges, 98 center, 100 surface. Oh my God, that's our closest one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are 3 away from a freaking diamond. PSA said it was an 8. I think they were just having a bad day. I don't get it. I don't know what they were looking at. Maybe it was like a corner a little. I don't know. Other than that, the centering seemed nice. Everything seemed good. There's like faint print lines, but I mean, nobody cares about that. Surface 100. Centering was great. Corners, it was like that one kind of weird one. Edges were clean. That's what I thought. When I originally sent it in, I thought it was going to get a 10. It came back as an 8, and I was very disappointed. I really didn't know why it was an 8, aside from maybe a little... I don't know. But you know what? Mint Authentication agrees. Should have been a 10. Should have been a 10. And it's not perfect even. It's not, doesn't deserve the diamond, but it's a good one. I agree with them. I agree with them. PSA is an a-hole. I agree. Let's move on. Although they did grade 2 higher than PSA, I don't know why PSA graded that. Nor will anyone ever. So, you know, I wish they would tell us, because then we could compare, but we can't. So let's move on. We got Patrick Mahomes. Red zone. Red zone. Right there. Gorgeous card. Where's Mr. Mahomes? He might be on the back. No, red zone was on front. Red zone was on front. Oh, there's the TK. Red zone, 9 or higher. Small dimple on back. Near shoulder. Small dimple on back, near shoulder. That's a 10. Yeah, he's not looking at dimples, boys. Not looking at dimples. We got a 10 right there. Not a diamond. 99 corners, 92 edges, 98 center, surface 99. You didn't even see that dimple. I was looking at these so close, guys. You have no idea. I had this light down here, and I was like... like that, okay? I'm looking so close. Didn't find anything. And I was like, there's a dimple just above his left shoulder. The size of, like, a tenth of a pinhead, you know? And I don't know. Here we go. We got 99 corners, 99 surface, 98 center, 92 edges. The 92 edges. Edges? I mean, I guess it is like a red, dark colors. Fine. I said it was a 10. We agree. We agree. We agree. Okay, red zone. Oh my God, we only have one bag left. Is that right? Jaden Reed, Green Prism. What else do we have? Peyton Manning, White Phoenix. That's been done. Is there a third one? Oh, we got the CJ Stroud Prismatic. That's it. Oh my God, we're on our last three, boys. Oh man, here we go. There's the Stroud. Oh no. I don't even want to know what he says about that. I don't even want to know. All right, here we go. First card up. Peyton Manning, White Shimmer, one of Miss Jazamby's collection. I said it was an 8 centering. Front top surface, rear print lines. Print lines don't matter. Surface maybe. Centering is definitely an issue. I said it was an 8. He says it's a 10. Miss Jazamby's going to be happy. Centering. Let's see if he agrees with the centering. Everything else might be fine, but the centering might be what throws it off. Let's see. Yep, 99 corners, 98 edges, 99 surface. Centering. 91. He did agree with me. Centering, it was like, man, just a little less. That ends up being a 9. Really, really close. But a 10. Nonetheless, we like that, although I have to put in the pile that I was wrong about. However, now knowing how this is grading, I think that I can understand what will be a 10 and what won't be. Like, centering is, man, really grading tough on the centering. And you know what? I'm fine with that. Rightfully so. Rightfully so. All right, here we go. Because it does really, what's the best example of this card? A perfectly centered one. I mean, I get it. Jaden Reed, Green Prism. Beauty. Let's find Jay Reed. Pink Optic Blue Wave. Green Laser. Prism. I had 9 or higher. Slight centering. Tiny dimple on back. Fuck the dimple. Centering, I'm terrified of now. Slight centering. I'm hoping it's a 10 and that's the only issue. And centering is a... Centering was a serious issue on this one. I said 9 or higher. So I thought that this would not... There's a chance it wasn't going to be a 10 because the centering is off quite a bit. I think centering is what really probably killed this. Let's see. Corners 99, edges 94, surface 100, centering 71. That's why I said it'd be a 9 or higher. And it is 9 or higher. I agree. 100%. All right, here we go. This is gotta be the funniest one. This is going to be the funniest one out of the bunch. Cheers, everybody. Here we go. This is going to be the CJ Stroud. What was a 9? It was a 9. But we jacked up the edge of it when we busted open the slab. I'm curious to see what he says about the edge. I hope to God he didn't put a 9 on here. 10. 8.5. How the hell did we get an 8.5 on that? It's got to be that edge. Okay, if you guys can see in there, right there, you can see it. It's like dented right there. Right there. That dent right there, we put that dent in the edge when we crimped open the slab. But other than that, it's absolutely perfect. It's like pretty good. Let's see what he says. All right, corners 79. Yeah, we might have jacked that up. Edges 75. Definitely our lowest edge grade today. 97 center, 98 surface. Yeah, the edge, you saw that edge. Is like, ooh, that's rough. I'm surprised we didn't get a lower edge grade on that. But 8.5, rightfully so. This was a 9. And you know what? PSA was probably right on that as well. You know, it was a 9 or a 10. And now it's probably like an 8 to a 9. which gives you an 8.5. I think that's right. He's probably right. It's definitely not a 9. It's definitely not a 10. It's an 8.5. And you know what? I think that says okay. You know, that's all right for a little CJ Stroud there. And that was my fault to end it off with the finale. Sorry, definitely my fault on that one. But that was awesome, guys. That was really, really awesome. Let's look at our stacks now. With our grading, that one, yeah, that's probably right. He agreed with me. It should have been a 10, but also it wasn't a perfect 10. But it was close. It was good. It was better than what PSA apparently thought it was. I thought it was pretty good. This one agreed spot on right there. They thought that this was a 10 as well. So it looks like they're grading a little bit easier than PSA. A little bit easier than PSA. A little more in line with CGC. 7.5 agreeing with CGC again. And then with their own card, they actually downgraded it to a 9.5, and that was the Surface. So I may have done something to the Surface when I busted it out of the slab, which is weird because it was by far the easiest slab to break open. So maybe I did that, and that's fine. Now, all right, here we go. Here is our stack. This is the stack of cards that I agreed with my preliminary guesses. I guessed, hey, you know, as a guy that doesn't know what he's doing, you know, this is what I think the grades might be, and that's how many of them lined up that I agreed with. So if you're a guy that's out there like, hey, I think this is what my cards might get, that's what you end up getting. You're probably going to be right most of the time. A bunch of great cards in here. You saw them all already. We're not going to go through them, but we're going to count them quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So we had 25 that were spot on, that what I thought was right, and that's a sick one right there. We had a few that I did not, that didn't match up with my preliminary grade. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 that didn't match up with what I originally thought. Some of them were just slightly higher or slightly lower, but I will say that on most of these, I actually agreed with the grade once I knew how his grading scale was. And they weren't off by much. It wasn't like drastically high or drastically low. It was just a little bit different. And then the ones that were way off from what I originally graded, I thought these were going to be lower and ended up grading higher than I thought. And that was because it ended up that like print lines ended up not being as much of a big deal. And so I actually like that. We learned that. This one I thought would be slightly higher. I thought this was going to be a 10. I disagree. This is the only one I really truly disagree with out of this entire thing. I think the centering is better than what they were looking at. It's slightly off, but I don't think it's a 75 center. I think it's a little nicer than that. I think it's worth a 9.5 or a 10, even based on their own grading scale. Even this one I thought would be slightly lower. And this one I thought would be lower as well. Ended up getting a higher grade. But again, those faint print lines and slight dimples and things like that don't seem to be as aggressive. And that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those. But overall here, let's talk about it for a quick second. I think I've rattled on long enough here. Let's see, about another hour on the second half of this video. Overall, how was my experience? I like it. I liked it a lot. The price is incredible. When you look, the deals are always going on. There's always deals going on. The price is already good. The slabs look fantastic. They're going to look great no matter what team you have. Look at that. It doesn't matter what team you have. It looks good. It doesn't matter. It's a clean looking slab. They're nice. I think the grades are fair. I think most people agree with the grade that they got. If you send in 100 cards, there's going to be a couple where you're like, maybe that one's weird. But the thing is, if you actually take time and look at 100 of your own cards, you're probably going to start, your eyes are going to start going crazy too. So when it's human grading, there's going to be some weird things every now and then. It's going to happen. And even with AI grading, they're catching things they're not supposed to catch too. It's just a thing that you can't do perfectly. But what you can do is if you think that it's off, I'm sure you can resend it in, or you can send it into another place. And you can do whatever you want. That's the beauty, is we have so many different options. And you should take advantage of it. But as far as, will I grade more of my own cards with this company? Yes, 100% I will. I look forward to sending more in now that I know how this goes and how clean it is. This is definitely cool. I know how their grading scale is. Now maybe those things will change over time. Maybe this will help them or hurt them, or I have no idea. But maybe they'll change things because of this. But as far as I know right now, faint print lines aren't going to be as big of a deal, because I think that's fair, because they're on like every card. You know, these companies can't seem to print anything without getting print lines. So I think that's fair. Corners aren't as aggressively graded unless they're like really bad. Then you'll get a bad grade. But like if it's not absolutely freaking perfect, it's okay. It needs to look good. It just needs to look clean. And that's fair. And that's fair too, because these machines are trying to slice it, you know, and they don't have that down well either. So it doesn't have to be like a perfect right angle, you know what I mean? Like absolutely perfect. If it's just clean cut and there's no chips on the corner and it's not dented, you know what I mean? I think that's fair too. Edges though, edges and centering, surface, man. Surface aside from print lines, aggressive centering, by far the hardest graded category. Edges can get aggressive on darker cards, which I understand, but centering, definitely the most aggressive on centering, guys. If you want a 10, make sure it is the only thing that's off is centering, and you might still get a 10, and it can't be off by much. But if there's other things along with centering, you're not getting a 10. That is for sure. And as far as all of this, I thought there was a few. I might get a diamond label on. No, sir. So that is the thing you have to chase. You have to chase that diamond label 10. And you better believe I'm going to be chasing it. I have a few that I need to send in, because we're going to be chasing it. I'm very, very excited. I just want to say thank you to Mint Authentication, Craig over there at Helmish and Hashmarks. Thank you so much for helping me out with this video. And I'm really excited for grading all these cards. This has been a really, really fun experience. And it's the first time that I've thought, like, I actually want to grade a bunch of cards. You know, I never was a big grader before. And I'm looking forward to sending more into you. Really, really looking forward to that. Thank you guys so much. I hope you learned something today with our cheat sheet and all this. Really, really looking forward to doing the next one with you guys. Thank you guys all so much. Go ahead and leave comments below about what your favorite card was. What do you think? Do you think this was fair? Do you think it wasn't? I don't know. And I'm sorry this was so damn long, but we're going to say one more time. Cheers to all of you out there. In the words of the great Panther Breaks 81. Peace.